FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
So the last couple of days, we kind of laid it out, the Bruce Pearl thing, and then kind of walked down on the ledge on the scheduling deal. And I debated, whether or not to put it on the blog, and what if it's all wrong? Because my information was really good. I mean, I can't tell you where I got that stuff. I'd have to extract you from the room. But it was kind of nerve-wracking yesterday, thinking, what if, what if like none of that stuff comes to pass? What if none of that stuff comes to pass? What if it's a totally different schedule? Because there's always a chance that's going to happen. So we jumped on last night and kind of watched what the SEC did, and they decided to release all 4 years, which makes sense because it's like putting a puzzle together. Once you get the first year, the second year is the opposite of the teams you're playing, and people didn't realize that. They thought, you would play the first year, and then you'd turn around and you'd play those other games on the road. But that's not what they're doing. So essentially, now that we're talking SEC schedules, and this is your Tony Basilio show, and it's a Wednesday, and we pretty much had it bet 90% on the money, which I'll take 90%, since we were the only ones that kind of walked out there and shared that with you, which I don't mind doing that. I don't know if anybody else had it. I don't think they did. But the whole thing with all this stuff is that we're in a brand new reality now. When I first saw that schedule a couple days ago and was kind of sharing it with the guys that I was on the air with the last couple days, they looked at it and said, my gosh, the original schedule, the LSU game was going to be on the road. That was the original deal. But the LSU game being here has beefed up the deal that much more. I mean, it has literally beefed up the deal that much more. Sean Sinclair, it is a different day today. It is a brand new day in the SEC. And it is a different reality for these coaches and these administrators because there are going to be a lot of unhappy fans because these teams are going to grind each other up, Sean, when you look at this on paper.
It is, but it's all relative. I think a couple things stuck out to me is when I didn't study the schedules, but I was like, wow, even next year's schedule, the teams that we get to play, I think that's fantastic. And then the other thought was that, and I know, and you've been one through the years to talk about weekends where it's just a bunch of Humpties, but what are those Humpties going to do now when they have one less schedule game per Power 4 team that they're not making money? I think that has real ramifications as the money doesn't trickle down as much.
Yeah, I think that's the reality of it. I think that's a reality of this deal. But here's the problem, Sean. These schools are making so much money, they could cut. Why don't you fool around with that camera, hon, and see if you can make it so I'm not green. Just kind of just you can look over there and kind of adjust the hue, and I mean, my gosh. Sean, I sit here and really greatly appreciate how difficult this thing is going to be. There's 2 buttons on it. There's a warmth button and there you go. And so they almost have enough money right now, Sean, that if they wanted to, they could pay East Tennessee State not to come in here. If you know what I mean. They're not going to do that. But there's such an embarrassment of riches, Sean, that they could almost do that, if you know what I mean.
They could, but that's real life. I mean, you've been a champion for these smaller schools, and they talk about where they are. But, each one of those coaches, you had Mark Ingram on the other day.
Yeah.
Let's be real, though. If Mark Ingram got an SEC offer to be an AD, he'd be gone the next day. And every one of the coaches that you've brought on, Jamie Chadwell, the young man at ETSU, It's better. Maybe Jason Simpson, not so much because he's entrenched there at Martin.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the man, and I don't want to speak for him, but I would say almost everyone that's in a smaller Division I AA, if I can use that old term, they would move on up in an hour. They'd have a team meeting, tell them, guys, I appreciate you, and I'm gone. So I think that's just the nature of the beast.
Sean, your thoughts? Next year's schedule is crazy. I joked in the blog today that Danny White could require DNA, and fans would send a finger.
As a season ticket holder,
yeah.
If you're telling me I can go watch Alabama, Auburn, Kentucky, LSU, Texas, and a couple of Humpties, I'm absolutely for it. And I fully expect my ticket prices to go up, but that's on a typical year, you're only going to get 2 of those 4: Alabama, Auburn, LSU, Texas.
Yep.
And then and in a way, if you say I got to go to Arkansas, South Carolina, Vanderbilt, and then throw in Texas A&M, I'm all for that.
That's generous,
9, that's the schedule I want.
If you can survive your home schedule, the problem with Tennessee's schedule, the schedule that's going to get you fired is 2028. That's a problem. Because
that's a tough one. Aren't all the schools in the same position, though?
That's what happens. Yeah. You go 2026 and then 2027. See, you would assume, you would play in 2027, you would play the same schedule, only inverted. No, that's not what they've done. It's every other year. And we have to get used to that in our minds. But in 2026, and then if you look on the blog today, we included the non-conference games. For instance, in 2026, Tennessee we know plays down at Georgia Tech. In 2027, they play Georgia Tech in Knoxville. Georgia Tech's going to be formidable. That's a difficult game. That's another difficult home game. It's a losable home game is essentially what that is. 2027, 2028, you've got West Virginia. You play them over in Charlotte for some reason. We're still doing that. Now, Danny White says we're going to try to get away from that going forward. I'm going to take his word on that. They need to get away from that. Because some of these years at home aren't good. 2029, Washington comes to town, as we wrote about in the blog today. And we were on last night talking about this in real time. And look, I'm kind of tired, but I'm kind of glad I did it because I like sitting with TGMD and C because I learned things because those guys are sick with it. And they were both, kind of sharing this is how the model works. Sean, the reason they didn't release the dates last night, people were wondering about this. I just have the information. I just know. Because I think now people realize I know. Because yesterday I had 9/10 of that, which is pretty impressive. But they had to move a team on and a team off. And they did a couple of, like LSU was supposed to be on the road. Essentially what they do is they give these schedules preliminarily to these teams like way, way, way back again. And then they fight over them. When these games take place now is a big, big deal. I was told that each school gets one ask. And then they try to honor that ask. For instance, when this year's schedule was made, and if you'll remember, they put the 2-year ad hoc schedule together. When this year's schedule was made, they went in the direction of, I was told that a couple of asks at the league was, Alabama and Georgia both asked, we want a break before we play each other. They granted it. I was told Tennessee said, okay, if you want to do that with us, we want the Florida game at the back of the schedule. That was Tennessee's ask this year. Let's put that game at the back of the schedule. And so I don't know, looking at that schedule, what the ask will be next year. But I would imagine, Sean, my guys came up with, we either want to play Texas really, really early, or we want you to separate Texas, Alabama, and LSU to some extent. Don't throw them at us in a gauntlet, which would seem, what's the term here? Which would seem plausible, right? Because if you get too many of those games in a row, Sean, you imagine if you had like an October, because we've seen this in the past, where you play the likes of an Alabama and LSU and a Texas, there's nothing left of you by the time November comes around if you had to do that in like a 4-week period.
I agree, but what are you going to do? I take a look at okay, would you rather have the 27 schedule that we play, or would you rather have Florida's schedule they're playing this year? Yeah. I mean, that's the look. Doug Matthews said 40 years ago, if you can work your way through the SEC at the end of the year, you can play with anybody, anywhere, anytime. And I think it's just another. I do think in a way the SEC got hoodwinked a little bit, because the thought was that we're on a level ground with the Big Ten. Hey, we play 9 games, you play 9 games. Nobody would look at this schedule from the Big Ten and say, yeah, I want some of that. Well, take a look at it. Just look at next year. Oh, there's no way Ohio State looks at our schedule next year and say, yeah, bring that on. No way.
No way.
No way.
I mean, Penn State.
They're still going to have. They're going to have 3 tough games, and I'm not even saying tough. They're going to have 3 tough games a year, and that's it.
Penn State's going to have.
As a fan, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love it. But as a me and Lee were exchanging texts last night. He goes, Tone, I'm to the point now where I just want to see great games. I want to see great competition. He said, really, this college football season, there's only been a couple games here that you're excited about. Matchups on paper coming in. Georgia, Tennessee's one of them.
Yep.
Now you're going to have, Sean, marquee games week in and week out, because what they've gone to here is a TV product, and what we're going to have to do, which I'm going to talk to Watson about, is we're going to have to all bring down our expectations across the league, because here's the truth.
Yep.
They're going to go to a 16-game playoff, and 9-3 is going to be a really good season in this year. 9-3 for a lot of teams going to be a really good year in this league, Bri.
They would not have agreed to go to 9 games if the playoffs weren't going to expand.
And not only
way.
Not only that, Brian, there has, because I know the Big Ten has won a couple of championships here lately, but the SEC is the preeminent conference. I don't care what someone say. Well, you got Penn State, Ohio State, and Oregon. Right? Come down here and play a round robin and see where you are. And I stand by that. There's no way those guys are playing Florida's schedule this year. No way. But I think we're going to have to change this to say, and you've said that again. I think we're going to. Football is a tournament sport now, and you survive to try to get into the top 4 of their 5 of the SEC, whatever they negotiate, because the SEC would have had to have some assurances or some guarantees that this conference is going to have that much pull in a guaranteed pull in a tournament or in a playoff, excuse me, or they're not doing it. What's the advantage of the SEC? It's not more money, okay. But there's going to have to be consideration for the SEC to do this as guaranteed slots in the playoff. Wouldn't you think?
No question, Sean. I think it's the 5 plus 11. I think that's what they're going to arrive at. And then out of the 11, it's like Benny Smith back in the day, like sopping up the gravy. How much gravy can the SEC sop up off that plate? I would say most of it, year in and year out. Especially when you look at
this schedule, and I agree with you. I agree with you. A 9-3, 10-2 season. Boy, I tell you what. In this time of transfer portal, NIL, any random billionaire getting in and upsetting the balance of power.
Yep.
A 10-2 season. Looking at these 4, I'm going to have to say that's pretty elite.
Hell yes, 10-2. You're easily hosting. Easily. Sean, there'll be 8 and 4 teams out of this league. They're going to get in playing schedules like that.
Now, the only consideration I would suggest here is that, and I know probably no one wants to see this, but I saw it, and we see it now with the attrition. If you go through this, take a look at Florida. They're not even a third of the way through.
Yep.
And they're just beat to hell, and they haven't even started the gauntlet yet, really.
Yes.
I think they're going to have to make some consideration of scholarship limits. I think you're going to have to go up to 120 or so. Roll your eyes if you want, but I think it's going to be that much of a meat grinder for SEC teams. Even Georgia and Alabama, no one's immune from injuries. You're just going to have those kind of people on there, and you're just going to have, they're going to have to go to a guaranteed 5 years of eligibility. I really think so. If you're going to play this kind of competition year in and year out, you're going to have to make some concessions because players just can't put up with this.
I got to make a note of this because I think it's two things to blog about. New concessions.
Well, you're asking an SEC team to go through a potentially 4-game playoff gauntlet after going through their regular season.
That's exactly right.
Think how much tougher that's going to be.
Well, another thing, the last thing, Brian, I would say is that who really, if you're one of the top 4 teams, do you really want to be one of the top 2 to play in that SEC championship game? I don't know that I do. I mean, that's a 10th conference game.
Well, what they're talking about there, both leagues are talking about, we haven't seen this yet, but doing away with a conference championship game and in lieu of that, making it playing games. So 3 versus 6 and 4 versus 5 play each other. My understanding is that that's still under consideration, still on the table, because that's another money-making scheme.
You don't need to do that with 9 league games, do you?
Well, it's another money-making scheme. I'm just telling you right now, it's another money-making scheme.
Well, I think a playing game would be much more exciting in football than a playing game to get in the NCAA tournament.
I totally agree with that.
SEC, I think that would break all kind of rating records.
People would watch a fire out of that. So your new concessions are you want a 120-player signing limit per team. And what was the second one, Sean?
And I think you're going to have to go to a guaranteed 5 years of eligibility.
I agree with that. Look at what the older players look at the way they've enhanced the product in the league. Joey Football is one of those guys. The Pavia guy is one of those guys. And to Sean's point, look, I've been saying on here all year that I like that Mateer kid a lot. I think he's
he's great.
I think he's everything that the quarterback last year here wasn't. He's a walk out on the field. I got onions. Everybody follow me. Let's go. Okay?
Well, except that's nice until you get hurt.
Well, thank you, Bri. And so the point is, what we've been saying all year is you're going to get in this league and you're going to get in these league games and you're not Washington State anymore, and you're going to run around and you're going to get hurt. And to Sean's point, this guy's already on the shelf and he's having surgery today. Now, who knows how long he's going to be out, but here's the problem in this league. You get hurt, you're going to stay hurt. You get hurt, you're going to stay hurt. That's just how this thing's extremely unforgiving. What's going to be really fascinating with Danny White here locally is how is he going to tie all this together? Because Tennessee biannually has a great home schedule, and biannually they have a lame home schedule. Let's just call that what it is. Every other year, they have a banger schedule. You can't charge for this schedule what you're charging for that schedule, Dr. Danny. I don't think. So what do you do? I mean, how do you, because on paper, that's one thing the league has done for Tennessee. I haven't looked at all the schedules because why would I? But looking at it here, every other year, and then every other year, you get murderated on the road. Like when 2028 rolls around, that is nasty. That's a schedule that you have when it's time to get fired. Because that's a brutally hard schedule. I mean, I don't know if we've ever seen anything like that in school history, a road schedule that looks like that. We'll come back. I want to bring Watson Brown in. It is it's a new day. It's a new day. I think it's a good day. I think it's a great day. I'm somebody that thinks that college football's needed this, and especially around here. We've needed this for a while. All the hoopty games on the schedule, to me, have been an insult to our intelligence for years and years and years. And as your program gets better, as Tennessee's program's gotten better, they're just that much worse. As we continue with more on the other side, I can't imagine what it's like being an Alabama fan all those years and playing like, no offense to my friends at Chattanooga, but or the Citadel or some of the games they've had. I mean, geez, Lloyd. And then say, why are you leaving early? Well, we're leaving early because it's boring, dude. We're leaving early because I don't want to look at your bald spot that you've colored in on the back of your head. Geez, Saban.
Are you searching for a great local coffee? I'm Billy with Grade A Grounds. You can buy our freshly roasted coffee online and support a good cause with every sip. Great coffee, greater causes. Visit our website today, gradeagrounds.com.
You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land? Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contracting. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting. Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gouffon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gouffon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gouffon Moving and Storage are pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gouffon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gouffon.com. That's Gouffon.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gouffon Moving and Storage.
Why limit great savings to just one weekend? This year, our Labor Day special lasts all month long. It's the September Smart Comfort event from Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. This month only, enjoy valuable home comfort upgrades at no extra cost when you install a new HVAC system or water heater to prepare your home for the colder months ahead. This September, you can get a free furnace upgrade with qualifying HVAC system installation or free sediment filter with water heater installation. Pipe Wrench is your partner for energy-efficient and cost-effective upgrades that keep your family comfortable and safe year-round. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. No rush, no stress, just smart seasonal savings for HVAC or water heater installations until the end of September. Call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
Life never stops moving, and between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up, a tire designed for doers, a tire that's going to last, like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776, or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
You know, I don't even know where to start as we welcome you back on a Wednesday with the great Watson Brown. And all lines are currently jammed, and y'all stay there. And we'll come to you because when news breaks out, we break in. Over at our YouTube channel, we have people discovering us each and every day. I got a Georgia fan in there that's in there trying to aggravate people, and he knows damn right well they were lucky to win that game. And y'all are going to get beat by Alabama this weekend. So put that in your pipe and smoke it, big boy. It's a Wednesday with Watson Brown, presented by our friends at Simpson's Meats. And Watson, one thing's for sure, there is a lot of meat on that bone in the SEC, because when they announced those schedules last night, and you look at like a Tennessee next year, and you got the likes of LSU, Alabama, Auburn, and Texas coming to your sit-tay, Watson. I mean, goodness gracious.
No, it's for a pure fan, not just a fan of that school, but a pure fan, Tony, this thing is out of sight, man. There are going to be so many great games to watch, just over and over and over again. And you're going to start in the morning and watching them, and you're going to go to late at night, and it's still going to be a great game because there's going to be a bunch of them. And that's what they're trying to do. It's all about the dollar.
Yep.
And they're wanting better games, which brings in more money in commercial ways and all of that, because it brings more eyeballs to the television. So it's that's what it is. This whole thing started with dollars when the BCS was formed.
Yep.
By my old boss, Coach Kramer, which was a great idea. What he did. That's where it all started, when the BCS was formed. And since then, Tony, it is, look at the difference in the dollars today compared to the dollars before we had the BCS. This is unbelievable.
It's not even funny. Probably if you didn't do that, though, you wouldn't have gotten to where you've gotten, though. One step begat another.
Coach Kramer deserves – he's the one that started this whole thing when he became the SEC commissioner and put this together. And it was him that put this together. And look where it's gone from there. And he lives up in your part of the country.
Von Orr's best. That's exactly right.
Still very sharp, and
I love
still
Roy Kramer.
Deeply cares about the SEC. Deeply cares. And I've spoken to him many times, and he deeply cares. So let's don't forget him, because that's where this whole thing started.
I want to bring Sean Sinclair in here, who has a thought. He wants to see a couple of amendments made to the sport in this league in light of what they're doing with these players now. Cinco, share with Coach Brown your thoughts, because I think they're highly relevant to our conversation here.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you joining us again. My thoughts when I saw this was like you. I was very excited about the potential games we're going to see. However, this is just an absolute meat grinder, and I wondered from your perspective as a head coach if you'd be agreeable or think it necessary that, and I don't know the number, I threw out 120, maybe it's 110, but I think you need to increase the scholarship limits for the programs simply so you have the bodies, and then just make it automatic. Everybody has 5 years of eligibility if they so choose to exercise those.
I've always thought there should be 5 years of eligibility, but not. I've not been for the red shirt. There is no such thing as a red shirt, and give everybody 5 years to play. And if you lose one from injury, you lose one from injury. But I think that everybody ought to be able to play 5 years from start to finish. And that way, you don't have any of this in between. Well, he plays 3 games, he plays 4 games, whatever.
Yep.
Yes, we already the NFL has a 53-man roster, I think it is, but they can bring kids in as they have injuries during the year. The SEC, it would not be bad at all for. I don't think it's just the SEC. I think we're going to end up being just a Power 4 league, maybe even after I'm past, a Power 2 league. But yes, I don't think that would be a bad idea, Sean. What are they limiting it to now? How many you can have on your?
It's 105.
roster?
105, Watson.
Yeah. 105. It probably could just take that a little further and put any of that's on the roster could be on scholarship.
I think 105 is just the total number of bodies. I don't including walk-ons.
No, there are no walk-ons. Guys, there are no walk-ons anymore. Remember, they altered that. That's part of that new house settlement.
I know they altered it. I'm not sure what the number is.
It's 105. It's 105.
Is it 105?
Yeah, and there are no more. Sure. Everybody gets a scholarship now. But the point is, Sean's point is, because what they're doing now with the 105, I understand, is they're taking some guys that would have been walk-ons, and they're kind of putting them on scholarship, and you have guys to fill out your dance card. Will these coaches, after experiencing a couple years in this league, at 9 games say, hey, we need more than the 85 players that we've been used to working with?
Absolutely, they're going to.
And you know what?
They're already thinking that.
Well, Sean's got a really good – the thing about the 5 years that makes great sense to me is the 5-year thing, Sean, when you said it, I automatically think of the Pavias of the world, the 24-year-old quarterback Tennessee has. I mean, those guys, Watson, to me – make the sport better. Look, you and I were talking off the air. This is all about money. And so if it's all about money, let's do what we can do to enhance the product in terms of what we're watching. I love these very good college quarterbacks we're seeing, Watson. The Joes are way out playing the pros right now in college ball at the quarterback position.
Yeah, and I just don't want it to go to 6. Because I think within 5, you're still a student. You're still a student, and I just think 5 is the cutoff. That's just me. It's just my opinion. I've always thought that, and I don't think there should be 6. But they're going to have more scholarship kids. I would like to know. I don't know. This would be an interesting study to see how many different people are put on the active roster through an NFL season. That way you could probably tell what you're dealing with, guys, because they've got a deep season and play many more games, and they have a tough game every week. Every week. There are no FCS still 2 of those stuck in there, or one of those and one absolute give me through a group of 5 or something. They play every week, and it would be interesting to study what the top number on any one of the 32 teams put on in 1 year's time. That way you can tell how many it's going to take.
Hey, guys, I'll tell you another amendment I'd like to see when we go to this next year is I want to play all those games, your directional schools, your one non-league Power 4 game. If I'm the SEC, Watson, I want to play all them before the end of September, and then when I get into my schedule, I get into my schedule. I mean,
there's two thoughts to that, Tony.
Go ahead.
The first one is get it out of the way and you're ready to roll. The second thought, and I've been in these thoughts because I've been an AD along with being a coach. The second thought is you need a break during the year where you can let some people get healthy in that game where they play the first or second quarter a little, or they don't play at all. And it gives a chance to get some of those kids healthy. So there's two thoughts to that. There's always been two thoughts to that. So that's what's happening behind closed doors right now. What's the best way philosophically to put this schedule together? There's another thought I think is going on behind closed doors, because this happened to be once where I was offensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. This playing another Power 5 school as a 10th, you've got to do that as a 10th game.
Yep.
You're going to see the better ones hunt those lower Power 5s. They're going to be hunting them, man, to get them on their schedule. And you're going to also see those guys try to buy, because I don't think there's anything I've read where it says home and home, but we were at Mississippi State and we had Florida come into town. My first year, I don't remember what year it was, but anyway, and we got balked to go to Orlando for a neutral site. There wasn't no neutral site. That was a Florida home game. We got a lot of money, but we didn't get that home game. And I wouldn't doubt at all seeing Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, whatever, the ones, the top dogs with the real dollars, buy themselves a game at a neutral site. Just keep watch it as it goes on. Let's see what happens.
Hey, by the way, Sean, I bet John Curry's phone is ringing off the hook today. The guy at Maryland's phone's ringing off the hook. The athletic director at Rutgers' phone is ringing off the hook. Those guys are all of a sudden popular, Watson.
No, I'm telling you, they're hunting them. They're hunting them, man.
The lower guys in these Power 4 leagues,
buddy. They're hunting them, and they're saying, "We'll give you an extra $1 million if you'll play us."
Yeah, you play. We'll give you terms, as we say in the business world. The great Watson Brown joining my friends at Simpson's Meats, a beef brand built on quality. Look, we're talking about a family tradition since 1888. Which I like to say is longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined, believe it or not. They've got steaks, they've got burgers, they've got sausages, they've got roast, they've got chicken. And here's the thing, none of it has any of the hormones in it or any of this other stuff. I mean, you will absolutely taste the freshness, the difference, and it's unbelievable, the quality. Look, you're going to pay more, but you're going to treat yourself. And gift boxes are available. They have half and quarter cows available as well. Ship it anywhere in the world, but they do have a store in West Knoxville off Lovell Road. Check them out. Go out there and shop today as Watson Brown joins us on a Wednesday with Watson, presented by our friends at Simpson's Meats. And Watson, I don't know why. I mean, your brother was there, right? But this Texas thing, when you see him on the schedule, there's just kind of such a regalness about it. Imagine having a home schedule where you have Texas and Alabama on the same schedule, and then for a sweetener, we're going to throw LSU in there and Auburn. I mean, that's got to be the hardest home schedule or the most marquee home schedule that's ever existed in this league, right? I mean, that's just crazy.
It's year to year. It is year to year, and you never know. I mean, I was in the state of Alabama when Alabama wasn't very good for a while. So you never know where it's going to be, but when you just look at it on paper, Tony, you say, holy cow, man.
Yep.
When you look at you could play all of those traditional schools back to back to back. That's the whole idea of this, though. That's the whole idea better games for television, but also that you can now, we've expanded the playoffs, which this would have never happened if they hadn't expanded the playoffs. It never would have happened because we'd had too many losses in the SEC and we wouldn't be getting people in. So they had to expand the playoffs for this to take place first. That was the number one piece. And so, but the dollars with all of this is unbelievable, and it's going to be unbelievable for the fans, in my opinion. The one thing that's going to happen is the true Vol fans, or the true Texas fans, or the true Alabama, Georgia, those traditional, really, really good programs for years and years and years. You're going to have to get used to losing a few more games.
That's right.
And not just go crazy when it happens now, because there's no way. You're adding an extra SEC game, which has got to be one of the toughest opponents in the country, number one, and you're adding an away game. You're adding another away game to that. And so there's no way your 10-2s could turn into 8-4s very easily. And people are going to have to get used to that, in my opinion. I don't know if they can.
Hey, guys.
I mean, when you've been one of those that's not used to losing ball games, just not used to it.
Let's go around the room.
It's going to be awful hard to handle that.
You put this in. You throw a school out, Sean. A fan base that's going to expect to make the playoffs. 4 out of 5 years, Sean. Go ahead. Let's just make a list of these teams. I want people to think about this now.
Are you talking just the SEC?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, certainly Alabama, Georgia, Auburn,
LSU,
Florida,
LSU does, Florida,
Tennessee
does,
Oklahoma, Texas A&M.
That's like 8, and that's what coach is laughing. Here's the point: most years, you're on a great year, you're going to get 5 in. Okay, you might get 6 in on a 16-team playoff. You might get, but 5 is probably going to be your cutoff. 3 fan bases are going to be urinated off. Missouri is spending a lot of money. If you look at the team they're putting on the field, I don't know how they're doing it. But like Sean said, all it takes is one sugar daddy to sing for you. Hey, Watson,
Absolutely.
It looks to me like Vanderbilt spending some money, Watson. They've got an incredible football team.
They absolutely. They spending money. They're smart. You look at what happened to the ones that aren't. And you have to keep up with the Joneses. And how many times have I said to you all for this last year, as this thing was about to take place, I said, you watch the lower teams, this is their best shot of ever winning, ever. The lower teams, because all of a sudden what's on the side of that helmet isn't as important as the dollars that you're paying that kid.
That's right.
Now, that sounds rough and harsh.
No.
But it's true. It was very. I've recruited in a lot of these schools, and I'm telling you, when you walk in and that OU is on the side of that helmet, and you're trying to beat that, that's hard to beat. That's really hard to win out in the end. You hang around, you think you got a chance to get him, but in the end, he goes to that traditional school. But now, when the first thing they say is, how much are you paying me? And you're going to pay more than Alabama's going to pay. You want this kid. You want him bad.
Yep.
And if Alabama says, I'm going to pay him $4 million, then we're going to pay him $4.5 million. I mean, you can do that now, and it changes the whole concept. I want to give Indiana credit, but at the same, and I am, but that's what I think Indiana's done.
These teams,
Indiana's gone out and spent the money. People tell me right now Texas Tech has spent more money than anybody in the country.
Correct.
This year.
Yes.
This year, Texas Tech has spent money. They've got one guy that's throwing it out there. And look at them. Pretty dadgum good.
I'd say, hey, Sean, here's the thing also with our league. I believe this has happened overnight, and we haven't even noticed that it's happened. I think kids around the country, if you look at these rosters, want to play in this league because it has the rep of being the best. Everybody wants to play in the NFL that aspires to play at this level. And, Watson, I really believe that what's going on here with the lesser teams, these rosters have never been better. I mean, we thought they were pretty good a couple years ago. This year, when you look at like Tennessee plays a Mississippi State team. I had a guy on yesterday told me, I didn't realize this. And how would I have realized this? He said last year's Mississippi State payroll was $5 million, and they thought that was a lot of money. He said they went out in the offseason, and they bought a brand-new defensive line, and they bought some new offensive linemen, and they bought some wide receivers, and they spent $15 million, Watson, at Mississippi State, Watson. $15 million.
What you're sitting is thinking, you're saying, here's one of the lower level schools.
Right.
Why would anybody want to go there when they could have gone to Oklahoma or Tennessee or whatever? But that's not what they're making the decision on now. They're not making that as the priority. That's why I said I hope and pray we don't get to the point where that T on the side of that helmet still ain't the most important thing. Because that's the way we want it. We want that guy to be so proud to be at Tennessee, so proud to be at Alabama. He's going to absolutely lay everything he's got into winning for this university. And because that's the way I was raised. That's the way it is. And I hope we don't ever lose that. That's the one scary thing with throwing the dollars around that scares me.
Hey, Cinco,
and not that these players don't deserve it. I'm not even going there.
No,
they do. I don't even want to argue about that. They deserve whatever they can get. Coaches deserve whatever they can get. Universities deserve whatever they can get. When you make money the most important piece of this, then okay, that's the way it is.
Cinco, you got another thing for Coach Brown. Go ahead.
Yeah, I do real quick. But first I want to make a comment about people chasing the money. I'm not going to talk about our former quarterback, but I've been a casual interest a participant in Florida State because we have 3 former players there, and I've just watched, and they all seemingly, the Elijah Herring went to Memphis because he seemed to, the competition was a bit much. Now he transferred to Florida State from Memphis. Last week he had 2 tackles. Jason Jenkins wanted more money, more time at Tennessee. He went to Florida State. Last week he had 1 tackle. And then I think maybe Squirrel White had 1 loud reception in that first game. But other than that, he didn't even show up on the participation chart last week. So it's interesting how it'll be interesting to see how kids make their decisions because seemingly they all went for more money, but their playing time or their impact on the field is maybe even less than it was here. And then you're also greatly diminishing your legacy going forward at swapping around different schools. My question was to Coach, having been at UAB, this is one less bye game for an SEC team. How does that and that's going to be one less bye game for all the major schools. How is that going to impact a UAB, an ETSU, a UTC, et cetera, when it's one less opportunity come to Neyland, come to Georgia Stadium, et cetera, for $1 million+ payday?
I played 12 in my 12 years at UAB, Sean. I played 36 of those games.
Oh.
36. Oh. 36 bye games in 12 years. That was our money. All you're going to see, Sean, is all these little pieces add up to the same thing. The haves are going to be a lot further apart than the have-nots. It's going to keep growing more and more and more apart. It's just the way of the world. And when you can be money, not always, money can lead to success. And that's what I think you really nail something. And now the FCSs are going to get a lot less money. I think I played 12 of those games at Tennessee Tech, and we made a ton of money. I mean, we were getting over $500,000 every time we went. Some all the way up to close to $1 million. Now that number on the FCS, because he's not playing as many of them, goes way down. So it's going to end up hurting the group of fives down through the FCS. There is no doubt, in my opinion, that's what's going to happen. But the other thing, Sean, is we need to give the coaches credit because Nick Saban still had the best line a year ago when he first went on with ESPN. He said, It's one thing to buy kids. You better know who you're buying. You don't need to be buying bad ones, because if you buy a bad one, it can ruin your program. And we saw that happen at Florida State last year. These coaches got to be smart, and not just you better, and you don't have long to do it, because you don't have long to study these kids and who to throw this $2 million at here or $1 million at here or whatever. You better be buying the right guys. That's still going to be a piece of this.
The great Watson Brown joining us, presented by our friends at Simpson's Meats. All right, Watson, let's talk about this weekend. Pretty compelling game for Tennessee, and some really interesting stuff around the league. Jeff Lebby and Heupel. Lebby was his offensive coordinator first year at Central Florida. They come off the same coaching tree. Do they pretty much do the same thing, or is there or are there some nuances there that are different?
I haven't seen enough of Mississippi State this year, but watching Lebby, I think at Oklahoma, wherever he's been,
yeah, I
thought he was a little more of the pass first guy than Josh. Josh is, they're all in the spreads and all of that and going fast, but I thought Jeff was a little, I have not seen enough of him this year to know if he's changed that. But I thought Jeff was leaning more toward the air raid, much more so than Josh as he grew up.
Which is an interesting distinction, because the Arizona State team, which is really the real game that Mississippi State played, and they won the game, which set them up for a 4-0 start, which is pretty fantastic. For a team in Vegas that was picked to win 3.5 games this year, I'd say they're having a pretty good year. They scratch out a couple more wins. They get bowl eligible after winning 2 games last year. That's a pretty nice turnaround in year 2. The thing about this game this weekend, though, is that Arizona State team ran pretty well on them. A couple guys went over 100 yards. I think Tennessee's going to have a chance to set up that run to hit those big plays this week. This seems like a pretty good opponent for them.
Yeah, I think be ready to play. That's to me the main thing. Going to Starkville is not your normal trip in the SEC. The places you stay aren't great.
Yeah.
The difference in that stadium when them cowbells get going, it's different than anything you ever go to. You can't put that in practice. You just can't do it. And it's very, very loud in the big games, and this will be a big game. They will be wild because they're 4-0. And when those fans get a taste of it like this, they are good fans, really, really good SEC fans. So it will be a great atmosphere, and you got to go in there ready to play. We won a lot of big games in there, man, in my time there. A lot of big games. We beat Florida. We beat the fool out of Florida one night in there with Spurrier. We beat Texas in there. I can't even name them all. I mean, we beat Auburn in there. It is a good home field advantage because it's something you do one time. It's so different than going to A&M or going to Tennessee or going to Alabama. It's just different with those cowbells. And then the logistics of getting in there and everything you got to do, it makes it hard.
Do you hear them, Watson? Like after a while, or you just get totally used to it?
You can't hear it when the game's over. My wife would say, "What'd you say?" She'd be sitting up the stairs.
Do you do silent counts?
They're very loud, very, very loud. They're supposed to be illegal, but good luck on that.
Do you like silent counts and stuff offensively to combat that, or what if you're an opponent? What's your go-to?
Yeah, I took Vanderbilt in there once, and it's hard to check off in that, just like it is for different reasons. When I went to Oklahoma, we went to A&M from Oklahoma, when I played A&M at Rice, when I played A&M at Texas Tech, I always said that place, it's built so straight up, Brian, and it's so loud that way. There are places you go that you absolutely better not try to do your normal thought process. It was interesting that I read a quote from Kirby Smart last week before the game. We cannot do our normal check off and all of that in this game. There's just no way to do it. And he's dead right about that. The ones that make the mistakes try to go in there and do normal, and it's just very loud. Now, Mississippi State needs to be doing well. You know,
Oh, no question.
Everybody talks about LSU, and
Yeah.
LSU is loud. It's also another great place.
Yeah.
But like any fan base, when we beat them at UAB, went in there and beat Nick Saban and LSU, we had the lead most of the game. We got the lead and hung in there and hung in there and hung in there. Now that makes it different. So Mississippi State needs to be doing well for this place to be what I'm talking about.
Watson Brown breaking it down scientifically. The Vols get a break. It's 4:15 start. What they did is and this got by me somewhat. Well, everything gets by me, but they put Alabama and Georgia in the night slot, and why not? Alabama and Georgia is going to be a classic football game. It's going to be concurrently on. We'll be doing the Garza Law fifth quarter fan reaction. It's going to be concurrent with the Penn State-Oregon game. So there's a lot. You talk about a lot of meat, Simpsons meat, on that bone on Saturday night. That's going to be a great night for those of us that have the dual box. We'll be watching the dual box. But Watson, for some reason, I think Alabama's got something for Georgia this year. I think Alabama is going to get Georgia Saturday, Watson. Am I crazy?
I don't think so. I see why you would say that. I think it's going to be a great game, but I can't pick against Georgia and Athens. I just can't do it.
Well, they don't lose there.
Proved to me,
yeah.
Georgia proved to me in Knoxville.
Yeah.
They didn't. They just kept coming back and coming. You got to beat Georgia. You got to beat them. They're not going to beat themselves.
Yep.
Very seldom do you see a Georgia team under Kirby Smart beat themselves. And I just don't know if Alabama can do that because I think Georgia will play really well in this game. And I'm still not sold on the Alabama defense, guys. I'm just not. I hadn't seen it yet. We're going to see the true Alabama this
It's going to be a great game.
They took a new quarterback into Florida State and all that. Okay, I'll back away from that. But we're fixing to see the true Alabama this Saturday. Are they contenders for the national championship or not? We're going to see it
no
here
question.
in about 3 or 4 days.
Well, here's the thing. They get beat. They got 2 losses already. That coach is going to be –
Yeah, but it's only one in the SEC.
Yeah,
you can still run out in the SEC and get in with 2 losses. No doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. If you made a run of 7 straight SEC wins, you'd still get in.
Imagine, though, what they're going to do with that coach if they lose that second game by the end of September. I mean, he's going to be wishing.
I go down to we still have a place, as you well know, Tony, down in Alabama on the water. And Brenda and I go quite a bit down there. And I'm going to tell you, it's pretty rough in the state right now. It's pretty rough.
That's my main man, Watson Brown, breaking it down scientifically. I love you, Coach. Anything else you'd care to add here on the way out? Because, it's funny. We were talking about, Sean was asking you about how schools get hosed in these games. I don't know that we've seen a hose job like what happened with Auburn at Oklahoma over the weekend. That was a hose job for the ages, Watson.
That's hard to explain, Tony, Sean, Brian. And it just seemed to keep happening to them. But the one play is illegal. As soon as it happened, it's just an illegal play. It's unethical. It's illegal. They should have got that. They should have got.
Tell me why it's unethical.
How that sidelines guy didn't pick that up, I don't know. It's right in front of him. He's got to line up right by that guy.
Why do you call that?
He's got to line up right by that guy.
Watson, why do you call that unethical? Why? That's a strong term.
Well, it's against the rules, and you're pushing that rule to the point. To me, it's unethical. I think it's unethical to have a kid lie and lay down and act like he's hurt. It's the same mindset to me. It's pushing a rule further than it's supposed to be. And I'm not saying I never did it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that now. I'm not talking holier than thou here.
No, you're right.
I don't blame Oklahoma for doing it all, especially if they got away with it.
Hey, the SEC.
I mean, more power to them.
Hey, the SEC Sunday morning, Watson. They didn't even wait till Monday. They issued an apology Sunday morning.
They had
to. And then you had that replay on that fumble that was absolutely a fumble, which was a touchdown for Auburn going the other way. And my favorite one was Auburn runs that little wide receiver option play where they're going to throw the ball downfield. And the free safety from Oklahoma tackles, I believe it was the Coleman kid, he tackles him to the ground before the ball gets there and there's no flag. I mean, it was like,
Yeah.
are we
I don't
watching
know. It's just
wrestling
one
here?
of those days.
Yeah,
One of those days, but it also told me Auburn's is better this year.
no question.
Now they don't need to keep losing. They got to find one and win one to get a good taste in their mouth.
Yeah.
And they got to get that done. They got to win an SEC game to get the good taste in their mouth. Because when you get on those runs like that, man, it's hard to get out of it. But Auburn's better. I was real impressed with their defense. And the quarterback's better than the one they played with last year because he's tough.
Watson
Jackson Arnold now, he proved to me that he is a tough kid. He's not a great thrower, but he's not afraid to run it, get up and go run it again. I'm telling you, he is a tough nut. Last thing, Tony, to me that I'd throw out there for y'all to discuss.
Yep.
I think this extra game really, really hurts the bottom level of the conference if that bottom level stays that way. This money thing can change that. I know that. But when you lose one of those wins now to put in as another SEC game, and you're really losing two because you've got to play another Power 5, and if you were smart in the SECs, I begged for this when I was head coach. When you're in the SEC, you got 4 games of non-SEC games now. Those need to be wins, man. I don't care what it costs to get them.
Oh, the guy at
4
Kentucky.
wins.
I
and then
see.
You win 2 out of 8 in the SEC. You're in a bowl every year.
I see.
This is hurting those schools now, I'm telling you.
The guy at Kentucky doesn't look so good without his 4 MAC wins, is what you're saying.
Nobody does. Nobody does. You put 4 wins on everybody in the SEC schedule.
That's a good point.
Everybody looks a whole lot better than maybe some of them really were.
Watson, you're the man. Thanks, bro. Love you.
Love you guys.
The great Watson Brown. Enjoy the football weekend. He's a gentleman and a scholar, and a gentleman. And what he's doing on here with us, I got no idea. But I'm glad he's here because he is an absolute asset in every sense of the word and an absolute American treasure and a gem. And Brian, when he takes us to SKU, there's nothing like it. The great Watson Brown, presented by our friends at Simpson's Meats. Check it out. Gift boxes are available. You can ship premium meats anywhere in the world. You go check out their Mercado it's West Knoxville off Level Road. Look, you're going to pay more when you try the steaks or the burgers or the sausage, the roasted chicken, but you're going to taste the difference. Treat yourself. Go all the way. Take a brief time out. We come back. Hour number 2. Boy, that thing flew by. As we continue with more, all lines are currently jammed as they will stay throughout after this.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted Grade A Grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the volunteer state by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof. T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Distributed by Athens Distributing Company. Please drink responsibly. Basilio here. No one does it like Alumni Hall. I'm here to tell you, living Vol fan, only one place. That's the best place to shop for Tennessee gear, and that's Alumni Hall. The best and largest selection of Tennessee apparel for the whole family. Top brands like Nike and Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar. Load up on hats, accessories, Yeti, all your tailgating necessities. Download the Alumni Hall app, click account, and it'll tell you how much Hall cash you've earned. You earn $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Alumni Hall, with physical locations in Murfreesboro, Bristol, and 3 locations in Knoxville, now open in Johnson City. Pop into Alumni Hall and get ready and tell them Tony B sent you.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm gonna hop online and I'm gonna get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold wave filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our gold bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama's Easy approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols.
And I say go Vols to the great Josh Collins. It's unbelievable, Andy, as we welcome you back. We're going to go to the phones now. 865-200-5402. I love what's happened here to college football. Love it. All these people say, well, Tony used to say, hey, listen, man, it's 2025. I mean, you know, Tony used to say a lot of things. I used to love listening to baseball on the radio. I haven't listened to a baseball game on the radio in forever. You know why? Because I have a phone. Some of you are like, well, you used to say, and he used to say. Hey, it's 2025, man. I wasn't the one that brought Oklahoma and Texas into the league, you clowns. Some of you are really, well, back in the 90s. Well, yeah, back in the 90s. I mean, okay. One thing I've always said, and I always have been, and that's why a lot of former athletes love me, because they know I'm on the side of the athlete and always was. These kids now are getting theirs off the backs of guys that should have gotten theirs when they played. And I'm talking about the Jason Swains of the world, who like limps around town now when you see him. Because that's a brutal sport. A brutal sport. And I'm so happy these kids are getting paid. Here's my hope. Save your money. Because very few of you are playing in the NFL. Save your money. When I see these kids driving around town in these flashy cars and just blowing their money, I'm going, because we all know this. You're going to need that money when you're 50. You know, like the great Jennifer Morris, she helps kids, athletes buy homes. Hey, you can't make a better investment than that. But I digress. This thing the SEC is doing, I don't care what the reason is. Back to the phones we go. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tom.
There he is. Bri, your boy, Columbo.
Yeah, I mean, look, the TV networks don't want these Tennessee UAB, Tennessee State games anymore. They don't. ESPN doesn't want them. Like, nobody's watching them. Nobody wants. Did anybody really want to go to that game Saturday? Like, sit in 85-degree heat and pay to park, pay to go. Like, give the people what they want. And the ratings are only going to be higher, which means more money, and we've got to pay the kids and all that. But with the new schedule, okay, if you don't think Tennessee was the big winner in all this, then I don't know what to tell you. And there is no reason why this program should not be in the playoffs 3 of the next 4 years at a minimum. You get Arkansas or Mississippi State every year. You get Vandy, Kentucky every year. Nobody else can say that. You got to make the playoffs, especially when it goes to 16.
Brian Hartman, what say you? What say you, Brian? Playoffs are a disappointment? You agree with Columbus?
I will go along and say, with they expanding the playoffs, I think at least half the time you ought to have serious playoff aspirations. And you got to also think about not just getting in, but advancing in them.
I don't know if Heupel spoiled us, but half the time already, under a 14 playoff, he was going to get in if they didn't have that South Carolina meltdown, whatever that was. That team was making the playoff under a 14 format. Last year's team made the playoffs. This year's team looks like it's tracking for it, and that's under a 12-team format. Mark might be right. I don't know what the expectations should be. I guess we'll recast it once we see that it goes to 16. But, Mark, it feels like in a 10-year period at the University of Tennessee, you should expect to get in 7 times out of 10?
I would say 8, but I could take 7. Like, and look, don't don't think it's going to stay at 16. I think this is all going to get thrown up in the air.
Well, that's
by
true, too.
29, 30.
But hey, Cinco, if that thing stayed at 16, okay, in a 10-year period, if Tennessee's doing okay, they should make it 7 times, shouldn't they, Sean? If they're cooking like they should?
Well, I'm a fan, so I'm going to say they should make it every year. However, I hear what Mark's saying. My concern with those projections are that even though we're a top 10, top 12 recruiting team, I don't think we're recruiting at an elite level to meet those expectations. I think that we would, if there's 4 SEC teams, I think we're battling for the 3rd and 4th. If there's 5, I think it's 4 and 5. I still don't think we may spend the most money in recruiting, but for whatever reason, I still think we're a little bit behind in just the depth of dominant players, NFL projected players that some of these other teams have.
It's an interesting point.
But again, nobody else can say that they have Vanderbilt, because Pavia's going to graduate at some point this decade. Nobody can say that they're playing Kentucky and Vandy every single year, and also playing either State or Arkansas every single year. That's 99% of the time there's 3 W's on your schedule. You got to go, like, if it's 16, you got to go 3-3 in the other SEC games. That's not too much to ask. Like, if you're Tennessee and you're operating even remotely efficiently, not too much to ask.
I agree with Mark. My thing with the recruiting is it's only Tennessee's fault if we're not recruiting elite players. I mean, if you got the schedule, we're spending the most in recruiting. I think I saw that for this previous cycle. The brand is as strong as it's ever been. You have arguably the best athletic director. Facilities are top of the line. So I'm not offered it as an excuse. If Tennessee is not recruiting in the top 2 to 3 in the country, we only have ourselves to blame.
The head coach, Sean's just not a strong recruiting head coach. He's not. Now, he's a great developer of players.
He's not.
But look at what the job they've done with Nico. Look at the job they did with this Hendon Hooker guy. And that's really where the rubber meets the road. Sure, recruiting's great, but can you develop? They do a real nice job developing the roster. They really do. That's why they're around among the top in the sport.
And like in 2025,
well, I think they have to make them. I think recruiting is not just the high schools. I think this past year, I think we could have supplemented. We brought in a defensive lineman from North Dakota State, something like that.
Yeah.
No criticism of that young man, but if you're going to bring someone in this day and time and moving forward, your portal additions have to be impact players. And an impact player could be a second teamer, given rotation with a 9-game conference schedule.
Yes.
To relieve an injured frontline starter. I'm not sure we're there yet. I'm impressed with the guys we bring in usually contribute, but I'm not sure that we're making impactful ones like some of the other teams. Because, look, you live there, Mark. You saw the game. We had no business being on the field with Ohio State last year. It was a totally different brand of football.
And the days of, maxing out your signing class by filling it in with a bunch of 3-star kids are over. Like, you don't take those developmental guys anymore. You go get somebody that can play, that's been in an FBS program, that's been in an FBS strength program for 2 or 3 years, and you bring him on your roster because he can contribute immediately. The days of picking up, the local kid from Knoxville West, 3-star kid that nobody is under recruited and whatever, just to fill out your recruiting class. Those days are done. Like, you can't waste resources like that. You let him go to UAB. If he blows up, you bring him back in. But I agree, like, our recruiting classes, if we're spending all this money, and we're going to get all this money from Adidas, and I personally think we have more money than anybody in the league, not outside of the Texas schools. Like, we should be leveraging all this and bringing in monster classes, and I don't really understand why we're not.
He's just not a hair-on-fire recruiter. I mean, Tony Vitello, this guy just isn't. And he doesn't have the Rick Barnes coaching staff. Because Barnes isn't a hair-on-fire recruiting class, but he's got some guys over there that freaking get after it. It's just the way it is. But here's the thing. It's working for this guy. This guy is winning games at a very high clip.
Tony,
I'm
look,
not going to
I got
complain
no
about
complaint.
it. I'm not
Tony,
going to complain.
I can't complain about the guy.
Yeah, I'm not going to complain.
I thought the Georgia game was a pucker job out of him. Like he's got to wear that. But there's no complaints out of me. He's
good.
He's totally resurrected this thing.
Yeah, no question.
Where it was.
No, and here's the thing. And the thing I like about you is you called after the Nico thing happened and said they will live to regret that. This guy is such a damn good coach that they went and put the wheels on this kid, and they're making him look like a freaking great – like literally he wakes up today tied for 5th in the Heisman odds. Like in what world, Mark, did any of us think that was coming?
Every quarterback that's on a top 15 team is tied for 5th in the Heisman odds. But I hear what you're saying, and this season – what I've gotten into before about the schedule. Like, you're playing Arkansas, Mississippi State, Vandy, and Kentucky. You've got Georgia at home, and, like, Florida's going to be a corpse by the time we play them. Like, you need to make the playoffs. I don't even – like, you got to keep the momentum going because I'm not going to care if they're playing Illinois and Tampa in January. Nobody's going to care.
I don't know that that's fair. I don't know that it's fair to say this year that you need to make the playoffs. Now, Brian, do you think that's fair? I don't think that's fair. I'm sorry. I don't.
Gotta do it.
I don't think. Well, screaming into the
team I saw that lost to Georgia is capable of making the playoffs.
Sure, Brian.
I think they're capable. I think that proves they can play with anybody. Yeah, if they don't make the playoffs, I'll be slightly disappointed. I won't be extremely upset, but it'll be a disappointment.
I just can't say that in no microphone that you need to make the playoffs. I just.
Hey guys, let me ask you this:
only because this schedule is so light for an SEC schedule. It's so light.
Well, that's true. No, you're not getting an argument from me. But the whole thing about Oklahoma's still on that schedule, a trip to Alabama is still on that schedule.
With those two,
a trip to Florida is still on that schedule.
They'll be dead by the time we play them.
You don't know that.
Let me ask you guys this: has Mark? You said he a pucker job, and to a large extent, I agree with that. I mean, he didn't knock the champ out. We're not talking about this lately. Has he outgrown the road stinker on the schedule? I mean,
I reject that. I think
everybody
has road stinkers.
I fully expect Levy to put 28 plus on us. Mm-hmm. Now we may score 49, and who cares? Mm-hmm. Win the game. That's all I care about. Win the game. But like, I don't. They got to be on their feet this week. Like,
I agree with that.
Let's just put some points on the board.
I agree.
They can't sleepwalk through this one.
No, Levy is going to. Those guys know each other. Levy is going to turn our guys around in space, and if their offensive line holds up, this thing will be a shootout. That's what's going to happen. I don't know that their offensive line holds up. They've got a real problem with one of their tackles, who's kind of a turnstile, and I think Tennessee exploits that and probably wins the game at the line of scrimmage. But I think Mississippi State also has a pretty damn good defensive line, which will make this thing a pretty interesting game, I think. I think it's going to be interesting.
And Mississippi State's like they're already kind of dead as a program. They're really dead when we're going to 9 games. But they've done a good job hiring Levy because he's going to score points. He's going to keep it interesting. Like, just don't be awful. We'll throw resources into baseball and basketball. Don't be embarrassingly bad and keep it entertaining. Would you rather lose 49-28 or 31-7?
Exactly.
Well, if I'm a fan of Mississippi State, I'd rather watch 49-28. At least we're scoring points.
Yes, exactly.
But I firmly expect him to put points on the board against us because he can coach some offense.
Well, you're the man. Much love. This league is a million times better than the Big Ten. Yes or no?
Not
Mark, how do you see Ohio State handling the road environment of Washington and their new quarterback?
Saints first start. I think Ohio State by the end of the year is going to be better than they were last year. I think this quarterback is better than Will Howard.
Oh boy.
I think they have the two best players in the sport.
Oh boy.
Smith and Caleb Downs. It doesn't mean they're going to win it all again. I think they're in for a test.
I'll say this: the guy at Penn State, when he gets on the field with people that can play,
yeah,
whatever. Thank you, Mark. Good talking to you.
Thank you.
Hey, that Indiana bunch, Sean, for some reason, that's another guy. You wouldn't know from looking at the recruiting rankings that he has players. I know that son of a gun can coach. You know how I know that son of a gun can coach? His guys get better and play like their damn hair's on fire. That didn't look like some hoopty team to me the other night. And I don't know how good Illinois is or isn't. I mean, they were way overrated at 8. They were power rated at like 32. But even if that's a 32 team, you take them and drill their eyeballs shut. And in what world did any of us ever think Indiana would look like that on a football field? By the way, Cinco, a guy named Keith has jumped in here. I'm not going to say his last name. I don't want to embarrass anybody. On our YouTube page and said, why do you guys always talk over each other? It's so annoying. And the answer is, Keith, because we have passion, brother. And not one of us gets offended because another one talks over them. You know why? Because we're men, brah. And that's what you do. But you know what also you do? You apologize and you say, hey, I didn't mean to step on you, which is what we do from time to time. Or, hey, go ahead and make your point now. Go ahead and make your point. Keith, I'm sorry it annoys you, buddy. I'm so sorry that annoys you.
Well, there's a logistical reason as well, is because we are doing this on a Zoom call or on Discord, and while it's easier when we're all in studio, you can look for verbal cues, you can look for body clues, you can look for natural interruptions and people talk. I'm sitting here staring at my iPhone,
looking
and
great.
I have no idea when someone is ready to. There's a lot of nonverbal communication that goes on. I don't have access to that, so. Yet at times I am rude, and at times
no, you're not. No. There's no logistical reason. We're men. Damn it, we're men.
But it doesn't offend me when someone steps on me because I probably deserve it.
Well, it doesn't offend me because I'm Italian and I grew up in an Italian family, and two things I learned at the dinner table: you better eat fast when you're the youngest of 6. And if you got a quip or a crack you want to get in or bring something up at the dinner table, you better bring it up. You better bring it up, or you're not going to be heard.
I just like how Mark said Florida's going to be dead.
Okay, so Rural Vol said Mark is kind of an ignorant guy. Brian, do you find that to be true, that Columbus is kind of ignorant? Would you describe him as kind of ignorant?
No, I wouldn't say he's ignorant. I think he knows what he's talking about for the most part.
I agree with that.
Ignorant, Cinco, or knows what he's talking about?
No, through the years, he and I have gotten into a couple of small dust-ups and disagreements, but I have never found him uninformed. A couple things, but I'm sure I'm wrong more than he is. But no, I find him to be a very well-informed caller.
Keith, if it means anything to you, my wife just texted me and said, Tony, for the record, you're annoying. So let's go back to our phones, and we'll get our next call in on your TLD Logistics hotline. So I'll vote for Keith. On the annoying front, as we get our next call in, Bino says I can make the Pope cuss if he spent ample time around me. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
I'm on.
Go right ahead. You own.
Hey, it's boy Billy out in Harriman again. I'll say Watson Brown today, man. He's out here talking economics. I mean, he might be up for Fed chair where he's talking about all that economics, man.
Watson Brown breaks it down scientifically. He can dribble, he can shoot, he can do it all.
Triple threat. Hey, Tony, I've only been here a couple months, man, but I got to tell you, man, I like this show. I really do like this show, man. I've been a national guy my whole life when it comes to radio. Well, Dan Patrick, Bill Simmons, Levitard, Rustillo, all that, man. But I got to say, I got to give you some flowers, man. You got a great show, and you're pretty good at radio, man.
Thank you, brother. That's the only thing I could do in my life. My dad, when I grew up as a son of a mushroom farmer, he took me to work when I was 13. He said, Tony, your skill is talking. He said, because you don't do any work around here, you talk to everybody. I sort of took my cue from that. I'm not kidding. I wish I was kidding. Another thing he said to me, which you'll appreciate, is when I wrestled in high school, I told the story at his eulogy. We were driving home one night, checking the mushroom houses after a wrestling match at my high school. And I thought he was going to say, I'm really proud of you, son. You're doing this. And he looks at me and he says, Tony, the great thing about you wrestling is the way I see it, you're going to learn the light pattern in every gym in this county before it's over. You need to win a match. You need to win a match, man.
Hey, what weight class was you in?
I wrestled 98, and then I grew to 105, my man. 105.
Now you doubled up since then, huh?
Yeah, I've gained a few.
All right. I was gonna say, man, I went out to that LSU soccer game like he was telling us all to go to, man. Them fighting Joe Kurtz showed up and showed out, man. The defense scoring from 35 yards out on some nuke missiles.
Dude, that one goal, that goal from 35 yards out was one of the best strikes you'll see across the world. I don't know, Sean, if you saw that, Sean, she pulled up and let it go from way outside the box, and it was a heat-seeking missile, man. A heat-seeking missile.
Who is this?
Lady Vol, goal scorer, the first goal the other day was incredible. Incredible
I'm
goal.
gonna look it up though. I love
please look it up. Please look it up. The second one was scored like on a half volley. I mean, that's a lot of skill to take a ball out of the air and redirect it like that. It's pretty impressive what they're doing.
Didn't
man.
they score one against North Carolina kind of like that?
Yes, Brian.
Way out.
Yes, Brian. They got that. I think it's the same gal who can really let it rip. But here's the thing. They had like close to 5,000 people jammed into that place.
Hey, man, that's a lot.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Hottest ticket in town.
I want to get Joe Kirkbride down Friday down to Calhoun's. I need to reach out to him. Text me his phone number, Bri. I need to get him down there. I want to celebrate with him.
That girl could have won us a Georgia game if she was kicking, man, I tell you.
Well, interesting. Interesting.
Hey, Tony, I know you got mainly an SEC show, but I need to talk ACC for just a minute.
Please.
They hurt my wallet last weekend, man, and all the gambling news. I mean, that Bible thumping nerd from Fake Death Valley cost me every single one of my parlays, man. Dabo is sucking right now.
He killed me. Hey, that was my biggest bet of the weekend. Dabo absolutely murderated me. Cinco, how do we account for that Syracuse team going in there and just ripping them a new one, besides the fact that Dabo's kids quit on him, Sean, after his little feeling sorry for himself tirade? When he distanced himself from this current team, Sean, you should never do that at the podium as a head coach. Ever. You should never distance yourself from kids you recruited. I'm sorry.
No, you shouldn't. And his tenure, albeit very successful.
Yes.
He's starting to remind me of a former long-term coach that was here.
Yep.
Very successful Hall of Fame coach. And I'm talking about the tenure, not the man. But his tenure starting to remind me of that, where it almost feels like Dabo seems like he's bigger than the program, and that they're very lucky to have him.
Yep.
And I think that's a dangerous mindset to have, because you take away, when you said Syracuse, I mean, they weren't hugely competitive against us, but it's the same team that the coach made. And I've never seen this in 40 years of watching college football. I've never seen a head coach after a home game make a team run in uniform in front of their fans. And then for that team to go down to Clemson and just have their way with them, that tells me that's a locker room or a coaching locker room deal.
And me and my boy know, who gambled on it, that's also the same Syracuse team that had a close shave with Delaware. There's no reason that Syracuse team – there's no reason that Syracuse team goes to Death Valley and wins unless Clemson's quit. People were calling me on the postgame the other day. You'll appreciate this, my man. And they were saying on Garzaloff fifth quarter fan reaction, well, are you gonna change your opinion on Syracuse? I go, no. No. Do you change your opinion on Syracuse?
They lost their starting quarterback.
Brian,
in the
it
middle
doesn't
of that
matter.
game.
They can't play. They're not any good. That should never happened. That team heard that guy talking, and said, this guy's bigger than us, thinks he's bigger than us, and we quit. And that's what they did. Mm-hmm. They quit on him.
Yep. Hey, man, I'm my other ACC stuff, just, looking at their games. Miami's good, man. I like that crystal ball guy. And, Belichick over there at North Carolina,
dude.
He's struggling a little bit. And that little hot girlfriend he's got all over the sideline, hugging up on each other.
You know
Come
what
on,
that?
man, what are you
hey,
doing,
you know what
Billy
that hot girlfriend's looking at right now? She's starting to see his wrinkles. And thank you, brother. Old Bill Belichick's starting to look old to her. And that's the truth. Because as a great Bob Dylan once said, now he doesn't talk so loud, and now he doesn't seem so proud.
That could go down as one of the worst hires in college football history.
And Bill Belichick is now tangled up in blue. If I could use another Dylanism, because they're looking for ball players all along the watchtower, and they're not going to find any. Because the mighty Quinn ain't coming back through that door. So we continue with more after this.
Guests appear on the TLD Logistics Hotline. Online at tldlogistics.com.
You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land? Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a two-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Whether it's baseball, football, softball, church groups, or schools, if you're raising money, do it with locally roasted Grade A Grounds coffee. I'm Billy Miller, a Vol alum and Knoxville native. You keep 40% of sales, and we donate 5% back to our East Tennessee community. Get started today by visiting our website at gradeagrounds.com.
Fall officially begins this month, so now is the perfect time to make sure your home's HVAC system is ready for the season ahead. Don't ignore the warning signs that your heating or cooling system is struggling or nearing the end of its lifespan. And if you need fast, reliable HVAC repairs, seasonal preventative maintenance, or want to invest in a new high-efficiency system, then call the trusted HVAC experts at Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Whatever HVAC problems you encounter, our certified technicians will make a full assessment and then provide the best long-term solution to keep your home comfortable again all year long. We make it easy with free on-site estimates for replacements and free second opinions on repairs. And if budgets are tight, we offer flexible payment plans including 0% financing with credit approval. Be sure to ask about our 10-plus year warranties that are 2 times longer than industry standards so you don't spend a cent on unexpected costs in the future. So call Pipe Wrench at 865-264-8090 or book online at pipewrench.com to schedule your appointment today. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morse here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Tony Basilio, and we are live once again with Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, you're out there on the field, 100 strong here in Knoxville. Talk to me. What's been going on with FC Alliance now that the weather's heating up?
We're out here for the first night of the boys' tryouts. We have over 400 kids that'll be here tonight.
So a lot of exciting times right now for us. Our club teams start at U9 and we go all the way through U19. We have over 1,000 kids that come from Chattanooga from the Tri-Cities that make all our teams and make this club what it is today. So we're excited about it. We finished the younger kids a couple of weeks ago. We just finished the girls last night, and now we're on to our older boys program as we speak right now.
And we're blowing and going in the Tri-Cities. Tell me about it.
We started FC Alliance North 1 year ago, and coming off the first year, we're the largest, most competitive club up in the Tri-Cities area. We just finished our tryouts last night. Looks like right now we will be well over 400 kids for the upcoming season. So great things happening up there. We've put our boys into some really good regional leagues. So we're excited about what the future holds for them and also our girls programs.
If you want more information, check them out at fcallianceknox.org. That's fcallianceknox.org. Chad Stockton, keep growing the beautiful game here in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care, I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
When it's past high noon, it's time for a vodka soda made with a vodka you've actually heard of. I'm talking White Claw vodka soda made with White Claw premium vodka. JB Smooth only drinks vodka soda made with the world's smoothest vodka.
And you can too. Pick you up a bottle of the triple wave filtered vodka that's been distilled 5 times. White Claw premium vodka comes in 4 flavors: black cherry, mango, pineapple, and just vodka. You haven't had vodka like this. No one has. White Claw Premium Vodka. Please drink responsibly.
Tony B here with the great Zakai Ziegler for
Hey,
Advent.
whoa. Tony, I got this. Hey, Tennessee, it's Easy here. Next time you have an electric issue at your home or business, call my friends at Advent Electric. With offices in Knoxville and Nashville, it's Mama's Easy approved.
You heard it from the most electrifying player in the league. Call the service professionals at Advent Electric, 865-588-0631. Online, adventelectric.com. Tell them ZZ sent you.
TB back with you, 865-200-5402. If you want to get in the hunting in the mix with us, my man William Pattison, like a literal rising star in this deal, is going to get you coming up after us. We'll stay here at tclub.team and do whatever it is we do. I mean, I don't know. Somebody pays me to do this.
Hey, Tone.
Yo, baby.
Speaking of people that pay you, I want to give a shout out to Zach Stinnett at Stinnet's Collision.
Oh, great people.
They are great people. The Atkins along with that family. And I had a fender bender about a month and a half ago. And I just want to give a testimonial. Full pay in here was an insurance thing. And I wanted them to do a little extra work on my own that I paid full price. I say this as a testimonial. And they went above and beyond. They worked with my insurance company. They had a rental car there. I'm no great shakes. I have to assume they do that for everybody. But I want to give a shout out to Stinnet's Collision here in Maryville because they did a fantastic job for me, and I know they would do a fantastic job for you.
And when you're in business as long as they've been in business, those are great great people right there. Stinnett Collision. Let's go back to the phones. A lot of great businesses around our area that make our community a better place to be, and they certainly are one of them. What a blessing. Let's go back to our phones on our TLD Logistics phone lines. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony.
Yo.
Hey, Catfish Ike here, people.
Hey, Ikey.
I've had a little something on my mind for the past couple of weeks, and I know y'all talked about it, but it's still stinging a little bit, and I can't help it. The Georgia game, and I like Heupel, but some of his play calls I don't agree with it on. And that at the end, he pissed me off the way he did some of that play calling. You run it, then you try for the field goal. I mean, what the hell? I didn't like that. I know others have said the same thing. The other thing that disappointed me in that was, why did we not see Boo out there on offense? What the hell is the deal? What's going on with that? I'm thinking, Heupel, let's go. Let's get Boo in on the action right here. Let's do it to it. And, this weekend would be another perfect time for him to get Boo in on offense. So I don't know if what's going in his head, why it's not registering, or what, if he just don't want to play Boo on offense or what. But, that's some talent right there that he could put on offense that would help it out even more if he would. So I'm not getting that. But good thing is, at least we're getting Moy back on defense. That's a good thing there.
No question. Yeah, Moy's getting back, and I also think our McCoy is going to be back. I hear the target date is the Arkansas game. We'll see if that comes to pass, but we'll see what happens. But yeah. Moy is going to be back this week.
Right. And an idea I had, I would love for you to have old Heupel on your show, or get him and call in where he could take.
Yeah, he won't appear. He won't appear.
Really?
Yeah, those guys don't even do a coach's show anymore.
I know, and that's what sucks. I hate that because
they're all walled off,
take questions and stuff.
Nah, he ain't taking your questions. He's on coach your football team, though. He's on coach your football team. That's good enough, right?
He barely does press conferences. He don't even like doing that.
No. I don't care. As long as look, to me, and I appreciate your call, Catfish. As long as Ike, we're in an era where those guys used to have to do those call-in shows and the coaches shows so they could be the highest paid employee of the state, so they could funnel money to them. That's all that was. Those guys they don't want to do that stuff. Most of those guys don't want to do those things. Sean, about Boo Carter, Matt said one of his takeaways from the game was how lost that kid was on defense the other day. And I know he got like a player of the week thing from the SEC for some goofy reason. But Matt was like, man, the guy looks like he's playing electric football out there.
Well, I think with Boo, you get the good and the bad. He had, 9 tackles. He caused that fumble. He punched the ball out that Beasley scooped and scored.
Yep.
But you're right. I mean, Coach Fulmer used to have this thing where they say he's one of those players that makes the band start to play. You don't know which band is going to play.
What a great saying! That's a great saying.
Oh yeah, that was a Fulmer deal. But he said, but the thing is that, he's been out of alignment a few times, and then also, he's laid 2 punts on the ground in limited time this year. Lost 1. And
I think that lends itself to Catfish Ike Steele.
I still think the kid's immensely talented, and I've seen it 100 times before. Yep. I think he plays like a kid that relies on his talent, and I'm not sure the total preparations there. He's obviously dynamic with the ball in his hands, but another thing is, if you can't alignment and assignment on defense, boy, there's a lot of trust that has to go on unless you're just doing straight, jet streams to him.
That's what I would do, and that's all I would do with him. That's all I would trust him to do.
Credit. He is absolutely dynamic with the ball in his hands.
You can't get him on the ground. To me, I sneak him in. First play of a drive. I know they don't like to rotate. I know that's kind of their thing. They don't want to substitute. But I think it would be worth it a couple times a game to get him in and to use him in that manner. Because here's the thing, he's itching. He's itching. The reason he's trying to take these punts back and trying to run with these punts, because now with the way everybody rugby punts and runs around back there are no punt returns anymore. That's not a part of the game like it once was. The conventional way in our days, Sean, when a guy would go back and he would punt a ball conventionally and you could time it, even if it was well struck and had a hang time, you could still bring it back if you were an elite punt returner. Those days are over. Now you got to force the action. And you're right, Sean. He's either going to make our band play. That's a great line, Fulmer. Great line. Kudos to you. That is a great line.
Well, I'll tell you the thing that I would do, and I don't know how it works with tempo. You're not going to put him in just to run sweeps because everyone's going to see him. They'll recognize him immediately. But a way that you might be able to use him on isolated plays is in a wildcat, a Darren McFadden type thing. There's not a lot of thinking that goes on. He can just get back there and take off. Now, obviously, you have to introduce him and you have to get him off the field within your tempo offense. But that way, he doesn't have to concentrate on the route trees, communication with the quarterback, et cetera. Because quite frankly, and I'm wrong. I've been wrong on this. I've been very impressed with the young receivers and Brazel so far this year.
So have I.
I'm not sure that Boo gives you more from a receiver point of view, but he certainly gives you from a playmaking point of view.
That's my
and the
whole
Wildcat
thing.
may be that deal.
Yeah, I don't want him a receiver like some people do. I want to bring him in motion and flip the football to him. Hello and welcome in. And Catfish Ike makes a great point on that. In my mind. Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony, it's Tom from Central Kentucky.
Hey, Tom, great to talk to you. What is Central Kentucky? Define that.
Lexington.
Okay,
yeah.
Good talk to you.
Woodford County.
Yeah.
Everybody from Kentucky's from a county, right?
Woodford Reserve. Go for it. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. So a personal call today. The first thing I thought about when I saw that schedule come out was Keith Hatfield, because Keith Hatfield hated Auburn, and I think this is the first time Auburn's come into our building since he's been gone. So we need to make that the Keith Hatfield Memorial Weekend, I think.
There you go. Unfortunately for us, we've named our Amachi tailgate after him. Trying to get people to part with 300 or 400 Auburn tickets would be like turning water into wine. I don't know that that's happening, but I like the sentiment.
But he would also love this week because Gundy got fired, and if you knew Keith, he called Stillwater stool water, and he hated Oklahoma State.
Oh, he hated.
And he hated Nebraska too.
Yeah, I think he shaved his head one time after we lost to Auburn. That was years ago, but I still miss Keith. Want to congratulate your Mensa callers of the week. Titans Bill and Negative. Titans Bill for putting Josh Heupel up as the next coach of the Titans, and Negative for making Mississippi State a referendum on
Negative. Let's go, Negative.
And then finally, one of the things I want to hear Watson, and there are all kind of things I'd like to talk about with the safety position. We'll save that for another call, but I'd like to hear Watson and his opinion on how you look at a high school quarterback and tell how quickly they can process information. Because for me, in all of this quarterback debate, do you go find one in the portal? Do you look for one in high school? For me, it's all about how quickly these quarterbacks can process. Joey Swagular, he's able to process quickly, and it's evident. But how do you look at a quarterback in high school and tell that they have that skill and that you can take a chance on them? I think that'd be a great question for the panel and for Watson next time he's on.
I'm going to write that down, and I appreciate the call, and thank you for shouting out the great Keith Hatfield. By the way, we need tickets for your.
I don't think you can, because they're usually the best athlete on the team, and usually you're playing 9 or 10 games against a defense that doesn't have any scheme.
Yeah,
they're just 11 kids out there trying to tackle the football.
And the other thing that people tell me, Tom, is that the other chance they get to look at these kids, and really what it's become is a 7-on-7 deal, which is why now it's harder than ever. when you see these kids with these 5-star grades next to their name, the bust rate of these guys is just, it's off the charts right now. And that's why people like John Adams, who say Tennessee's found something here twice, they need to quit reinventing the wheel, and they need to go out and get a veteran quarterback every year to run their offense and quit wasting money on high school guys. Look, Oregon does that. That's what Oregon does. Oregon's not going to waste money on high school guys. They're going to go and – but the problem, Sean, is you have to be able to identify from the college ranks who can do what they're doing, and I'm not sure Heupel can because he hasn't shown us that, which is really it's really a weird conversation to have, Sean. It really is.
Well, there's so many factors that would come into play. One, it sounds good because we blew $4 million. I didn't, but we paid $4 million for a kid that couldn't play, 5-star. You could have easily given that to some kid that could play. But on the other side, look how much, and we love the story of Joey Aguilar, but look how big a problem we had attracting. I mean, there's Rocco Beck. He's no great shakes, and he was really in a Hoover. None of those guys are killing it right now, and we were throwing big-time offers out there, and we couldn't get anybody to sniff us.
Well, that's because it was a spring. If that was the winter, it'd have been really interesting. I mean,
you're right.
It worked out perfectly with it being this kid. But gosh, what a crazy, crazy, crazy thing to consider. I mean, Adams might be right, for all I know. Adams might be right. It might be the way to go. Let's get a quick one in, and then we'll come back after this.
Are you stuck in a dead-end job or ready for a new challenge? Do you feel like it's time to try a new career? Well, it's time to change lanes with TLD Logistics. My friends at TLD Logistics have some really exciting opportunities for you to learn a new skill. With a new 5-acre driving academy that's now under new leadership with all new course material. And the best part, it's absolutely free. What a great deal to set you on the road to higher pay. And TLD Logistics even offers weekly stipends to offset food and gas expenses. In 6 weeks' time, you could complete this course and be in compliance with FMCSA regulations. Then you're ready for the open road of opportunity. What are you waiting for? It's time to change lanes with TLD Logistics. Visit tldlogistics.com. That's tldlogistics.com. TLD Logistics.
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today. Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
VIP Play coming soon. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
TB here for Cedar Bluff Plumbing, a live and local company that's been serving our area for over 32 years and counting because every customer counts, and I mean no job is too small. Cedar Bluff Plumbing just voted #1 by City View magazine because multiple plumbing experts are on call to serve all your plumbing needs. Chances are there'll be a plumber in your area when you call, and they won't send some salesman to your house. You're going to get a high character, trustworthy, highly trained plumber who will serve you. Not like some of these guys that look like they came off the set of America's Most Wanted. Cedar Bluff Plumbing is Basilio tested and approved and will go the extra mile for you because Chucky Mack is a servant of the people and my consigliere to the throne, celebrating over 32 years of serving living volunteers. Cedar Bluff Plumbing. Call 588-4448. That's 588-4448. Cedar Bluff Plumbing.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Basilio here, and my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's National Award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from me. Online at carnesmotor.com, Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes light. Carnes Motor Company.
Say it, know it, and write it down, ladies and germs. The playbook with William Pattison coming up on many of these same stations. It's unbelievable, Andy. Fired up, focused, and prepared for you. I mean, pumped doesn't even begin to describe what we are. TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime coming up for us. We love you. Peace and G to the B to the O.
Listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
It's TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime, presented by TLD Logistics. Online at tldlogistics.com. And now let's go to the guys with today's edition of TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime.
Before we go back to our phone, Sean Sinclair's got a special request.
Well, two things, Tone, come to mind is that one, if you tackled it yesterday, forgive me, I must have missed it, but I find extremely interesting the leverage, and he deserved it, the leverage Bruce Pearl put on, but to make Steven the replacement head coach and give him a 5-year contract. It's he may have changed. But I still remember the guy that, tried to have a show and bumped Philly and myself to a different time thing, big leagued us there because of Mercedes of Knoxville. I'd like to hear your thoughts on him taking over. I have my doubts, and then also today, ESPN I think is debuting a special on Lane Kiffin. If I understand right, it looks like a big rehab piece from his agency to try to get him, in line for a Florida job or some other job. If I understood the abstract right, it's about talking about how he's really grown up and sees it now that he's hit 50 and his parents have passed away. Now he's in shape, no longer drinking, is reconnecting with his kids. I don't doubt any of that. I hope I hope that's accurate for him as a man. But I'd like your thoughts on those two things.
On Stephen Pearl, first of all, I'm a big Lane Kiffin fan. If Heupel didn't have this job, I would want Lane Kiffin to have this job. I say that into the microphone with a straight face. The second thing is on Stephen Pearl. I was talking to somebody yesterday that knows Stephen and Bruce pretty well and said that Stephen's role at Auburn has been that of the heavy. And he's a different personality than Bruce. Bruce is a you can do this personality, and Stephen is a get in your face, you suck personality. And it's two completely different things. I don't think Stephen Pearl's going to be able to do that at Auburn. I think his father has had a blind spot, and good for his father. Look, My son's upstairs right now. Surprised me being here today, and I gave him a big hug. I was so happy to see my son. My gosh. So I don't blame anybody for that. But here's the thing that's going to be interesting that I think we need to look for. When Auburn releases it, if we get to see it, the language in that contract, what's your buyout? The number of years doesn't matter. What's your buyout? How on the hook are we for acquiescing to Bruce Pearl's wishes? I mean, that's really the story there. If I were Vegas, first of all, they don't have a very good team this year. They are not. If you look at the Ken Palms of the world and Torviks of the world, Auburn's not. They're not up there with the top teams in this league.
Ediford's already tried to get out. He's entering the portal.
Yeah, they weren't very good to begin with. And a lot of those kids, Brian, are not going to stay and play for Stephen F. and Pearl, who, I mean, I'm just going to call it what it is, who's kind of a prick. No offense to him. I didn't do it. I mean, I'm sure I have my moments, but his role around there has been to be the prick. So, good luck to him. I would, if I'm Vegas, I would install 1.5. 2.5 would be the number you'd install. I say he's gone in 1.5 seasons. That's what I give him. The interesting thing, though, would be the language, the buyout language is, Sean, what I think would be very interesting because there's no way they're committing. No way they're committing big-time money to his buyout. No way.
With Bruce Pearl as the ambassador of something at Auburn, how hard is it going to be for them to say, hey, Bruce, we have to make a change here? Or will they be able to go around him?
I predict two things, Brian. Either Bruce Pearl runs for some kind of office, which was thought that was what's going to happen, or he becomes the knight in shining armor and jumps back in there and saves that program, and he coaches again. Those are my two predictions on Bruce Pearl. The Lane Kiffin thing, Sean, I know people that know Lane from here. They say he's changed. They say he's become a person of faith, which I accept that. Not God. Don't judge lest I be judged. I love the fact that Lane Kiffin's daughter's dating a kid from LSU. They're playing each other this weekend. And she said on social media the other day, play the over, like kind of joking around. And he came behind her and retweeted it and said, yeah, play the over this weekend. I love the fact that Lane Kiffin is one of the few guys in this era of the most boring sumbitch football coaches on planet Earth that he's not afraid to be himself. How many guys, Sean, can we think of that get behind a microphone and aren't afraid to be themselves? Or will go on social media and mess around with fans the way he does. And I know that's not for everybody. I get it. Sean, can you imagine Lane Kiffin with his eye for talent at a place like this with this budget and that James Clausen and those guys tendering his engine, that coal car? Can you imagine, Sean, what that would look like?
Well, yeah, I can because we've seen it. However, I think the problem he has is he's unpredictable. He's been unpredictable his whole life.
Yeah.
The talent is obviously there.
Yes.
But his grain, if you will, is to be unpredictable.
Correct.
And I don't think billionaires like unpredictability. They like to be able to control things. Mm-hmm. They like to know when they wake up, they're not going to see something screwball.
It's a really good
point. The papers. The Reverend has toned his act down, way down.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because of his sickness.
Yep.
At Auburn, and you had mentioned, when he got there, they just nixed the whole social media thing away from him.
Yeah.
But perhaps, I don't know. He even says in this little abstract that he's made self-inflicted mistakes that have cost him.
Brian will never forget this. Brian and I interviewed him when he was getting ready to start his last season at USC. And me being me, I said, Lane, do you regret it? He said, regret what? Do you regret leaving Tennessee? He said, every single day and every single night. He said, that's easily the biggest mistake I've ever made in my life. Which I thought, again, I'm back to this. How many guys, when they're employed by USC, are going to say that into a microphone? I love Heupel. I don't want to see anybody else coach, but if that job opened, I would go after him if I was Tennessee, because I think he'd be a hell of a coach here. I do think, Sean, he's angling to get the Florida job. I do think, and we talked about this last night when we saw the draw, C was saying his information is that Pretty Boy at Missouri is trying to get the stand-on business, is trying to get the Florida job. You and I were just talking off the air, Sean. I'm not sure what the Florida job is besides a weird football job, Sean.
Well, it's different now. It's, NIL, transfer portal, expanded SEC, rotating schedules. Everybody seemingly has money. And now you have a resurgence with Miami and Florida State. I'm not so sure that it's the job that it used to be. It's still, and it's not a crack on our caller, South Florida. The Gators, well, come on. They've won 3 national championships in basketball, and no one gives a rip about anything in basketball down there.
Nope.
That state will always, per capita, be the most talent laden state for football in the country. It is what it is, but I don't know. Can he really succeed more at Florida? Maybe win more games. I know that sounds absurd.
No, I think you're right. I think you're right.
There are no expectations at Ole Miss. None.
Sean, that Florida job, for some reason, is a funky, weird job. It just is. Spurrier did it because he was so different than everybody. Spurrier, for those of you that weren't around, when he came from Duke, he came from the USFL where he played a form of football on the pro level they called bandit ball. He had John Reeves there, who was a former very good quarterback in college, who had drug and alcohol issues, kind of washed out of the NFL. David Reeves, his son, by the way, was on Lane's first staff here, but they had some really cool wide receivers. They had the Bugs guy, I think, that played at Vanderbilt. And they had a guy named Eric Trevelyan, and they could just throw the ball all over the place. And nobody was doing that in pro ball at the time. And so he brought that to Duke. They upset the Vols in '88 as part of Tennessee's bad start. He got on Florida's radar. He got that gig, and he lit this conference on fire, Sean, is what he did. And he lit people up. And then Urban Meyer jumped in on the heels of what Spurrier did after they went through Ron Zook. He was, you have to wait a coach to get to this deal. Sean, they're in no man's land now. Urban Meyer, I didn't realize this, walked out of there 15 years ago, Sean. 15 years ago. And they basically, when's the last time, Brian, they played in an SEC championship or a championship game, Brian? 2016?
I think it was 2016 under McElvain.
I mean,
that was when Butch blew his chance.
They suck. They suck, man.
They actually played for it in the COVID year. They played Alabama.
Well, I think the big part about it is that they don't. The brand doesn't draw. I mean, look, I give it to the call of Florida, and I cracked on the South Florida, but I mean, they're liable to come whip us because I've seen it every year.
Sure,
for the past
I'm not dunking
30
on them.
years. I get that. Just like fall, moves into winter. That's what I expect to see. However, that brand is not what it is. I mean, Alabama, Georgia, Texas, but they, ahead of Tennessee and ahead of Florida right now. Tennessee's on the up and coming, just in the playoff thing. Florida, they could be, but I think it's going back to being the sleeping giant it was.
Lando Flo says Lane doesn't seem to be big on recruiting in the portal era. I totally disagree with that. They have
he was the king of portal recruiting 2 years ago.
They have a formidable team. They've taken a step back
Now,
this year.
I think he means high school recruiting.
I'll tell you this. Their backup quarterback is a damn good player. There's nobody in this league that has a backup quarterback like Ole Miss has. I mean, he's a damn good player. I don't know where they found him. That's the thing about Kiffin when he was here. People say I have a crush on him. I just know he has an eye for talent. I'm with Sean. If you told me that he could be kind of controllable and not mercurial, everybody would hire him. Everybody would hire him. But
and the problem with him is,
he is mercurial.
I'm with you. If he's weird. A man of faith, and if he's a man of change, I'm all for that, and I celebrate it.
Yeah.
However, he has some ghosts that sometimes come back with people, and
sure.
You just. And even the thing said that he's been a interesting guy since he was a child.
I think the story tonight will be interesting. I think he's a great subject. I think he's a good guy to do kind of a retrospective on, because he was way too immature for the Tennessee job. But you know what? If he would have stayed here, he was going to really win, like really. I'll never forget when he left, X sent me a list of all the guys they were getting ready to get, or all the guys that were on he sent me a list of like 75 guys, and I'll never forget. He and I were talking on the air, and he goes off the air, and he said, Tony, we've never seen anything like this. Some of the stuff his staff was doing, but at any rate, that's all water under the bridge. I love this type
what
of guy.
they were doing to get that, though.
I don't care.
We don't want to know that.
Well, who the hell cares, Brian, that was back in the day. Everybody did it. Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on the air.
What's up, guys? It's Music City Sam.
Hey, Sammy.
Hey, they need to have the Haslam Jet in Gainesville, Florida by the end of this year, ready to pick off any players that don't want to play there anymore. It'll be hard to keep them from going to Miami or Florida State, but that's one team I would hammer in the transfer portal.
No question, Sammy. Sammy, there are about, literally on their defense, I would take their linebacking core over ours, like right now. No offense to our linebacking core, and I would take their secondary. Those guys are nasty. Did you see them flying around the other night? And they've got zero offense. I think they made 2 plays of 20 yards or more, or 12 yards or more, whatever the stat was, and they were still out there flying around in the fourth quarter.
Oh, yeah, they're sick. You just wonder how long they'll keep it up.
I agree with that.
At some point, there's no point in putting your body on the line.
I agree with that.
Go somewhere else.
Because I respect them, Sam. Sean said it. People that want to dunk on Florida and put a win next to that game, I don't know what you haven't lived. We got to get down there and beat them before I believe it. I'm sorry. We've got to get down there and beat them.
I was in Gainesville in 2015 when they completed that 4th and 13.
Oh my gosh!
So it's not a foreign thought in my mind, that's for sure.
Thank you.
But going to Mississippi State, I briefly watched them playing Arizona State. I didn't realize this until I went into the game. They scored like a minute into the game, and they scored with 30 seconds left.
That's right.
So they went over 58 minutes in the middle of that game, only scoring 10 points on Arizona State, which actually baffled me.
Well, the thing that I take away from that is they made the winning play at a winning time, which kind of scares me a little bit. The other thing that kind of baffled me was that they drew up a switch route that confused Arizona State in the moment. And, I mean, it was a beautifully executed play. And, Cinco, that kind of stuff with our secondary and our safety play scares me a little bit. Because we're going to have to make proper decisions this weekend, Sean.
We are. I think the big key is keeping that, and he's a nice little quarterback.
Not bad.
If you rank the quarterbacks, he would be on down the line.
Yep.
But I don't think that's because of his ability. I just think it's the conference is that stacked with quarterbacks.
Yep.
But I think the big thing is to keep him corralled somewhat, and then I think if we don't make General Neal and the team making the fewest mistakes will win. If we don't abuse that maxim, I think we've got a great shot of coming out of there with a win.
We had them at 11, their quarterback, and that's only because the 1 through 10 are indistinguishable basically in this league right now because the quarterback play has been very, very good so far.
Yeah, it's phenomenal how many good offenses there are. They will score points on us.
Yeah, they will.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm under no illusion we'll hold them under 21. But I still think even if they get to 31, I think we're hanging 50 on them. And that's just my opinion.
Explain this to me, Sam, because I think we're going to score a lot of points too. Because I think we're going to be able to run the ball, and running the ball is going to set up the deep throw. And Joey Football is going to hit some deep ones, and they're going to do some. Tennessee's going to get loose, I think. I hope that's the case. How is that number only 56 combined total for both teams? What are we missing?
63 last time.
Is it 60? Oh, it's gone up. Okay. Well, that's good. It's being bad up.
Hey,
okay.
I got Tennessee at 35.5 team total.
Wow.
I cut my left.
Think it's always
I cut my left
around
hand
60.
off to go sell it.
Oh, was it 65, Bri? I thought it was 56. My bad. I'm reversing my numbers.
I've only seen like 61, 62.
I'm sorry. I've been putting in some time here. My bad, guys. Sorry about that.
56 was team total for UAB last week.
Okay, thank you.
For Tennessee.
Okay, thank you.
No, but the thing is, with this offense, with the way the offensive line's playing, and in 2022, there was no team that stopped us offensively except that elite Georgia defensive line, which could be argued as one of the best of all time in college. So with the offensive line playing the way it is, I don't think any team's going to hold us. Not at Mississippi State to under 40. I just don't see it happening. They gave up a ton of rush yards to Arizona.
Oh, my God. They had two backs go over 100 yards. Arizona State really outplayed them, to your point, for 3/4 of the game. But that 10-0 lead matters because really it's what allowed them to stay in the game. And then hitting that pass play, that switch route late, I mean, that's just clutch football. That's just making a play in the moment. And it's why playing in somebody else's building's hard. Because that thing was lit, man. When they caught that pass, that thing was lit. And Arizona State was done. They weren't going to get up after that either. That place was lit.
Another factor is that if there's any defense that should be accustomed to seeing what they do, it's ours.
Yes.
There shouldn't be there might be a wrinkle here or there, but the tempo, the splits, the concept. Our Tim Banks has seen that in practice for 4 years.
Or how about this, guys? How about theirs? How about their defense? They go against it every day too. I don't know how to feel about that. I guess we'll see.
They do, but I think our overall talent's better. Another point is they lost their best defensive end and their right tackle to season-ending injuries against Arizona State.
That's exactly right.
And we're getting Moy back, we think, 95%. So I think we'll control the two lines of scrimmage, and that'll be the difference. But my score prediction would be something like 52-31. That's what I think it's going to be. But yeah, I don't know how the total's 62. I think that's going to be obliterated.
Yeah, I guess that's why they call it gambling.
I don't think we give up that much. I think this could be a higher turnover game for us, meaning that I think we capitalize on more turnovers than we're used to getting in this game.
Create some picks or create some garbage.
I can't prove that, but I just think I think that's the time. Tip balls, etc. And I've been so impressed with the way that Joey Aggs has been able to fit in line with the way the quarterback discipline, for lack of a better term, that Heupel's quarterbacks seem to have.
If they're +2 in the turnover ratio, I think they're good.
Sean, you said it best the other day, which is most of these guys in these bye games want to go out and pad their stats. And Aguilar went out there and ran the game plan. He ran the ball, the first 3 times the other day in that game? They were just like, and he was not looking for his. He was not like trying to freewheel and throw and force things downfield like we've seen. I'm so impressed with him.
Given his background,
yeah,
a lot of people would have taken his position and tried to parlay that into some kind of NFL, highlight thing.
Yeah,
capitalizing on that. And I don't know. It's only 4 games, but it seems like the kid has just bought into the concept of being a quality college football player for a major brand football team.
He's got a second life here.
And to your point, Sean, I think that's why this year I don't think we're going to have this so-called stinker on the road that people talk about, which I think is overblown in itself. But with a guy like that at quarterback who's just calm, collected, is ready, the team's behind him, I don't think we're going to come out flat.
I hear you. I hope you're right. I'm not convicting this team of having a stinker. But every year I've said, well, that was just a fluke the year before, and I just watch another one. And so I hope that streak is broken.
Thank you, brother. Good talking to you. You're my man, Music City Sam. Thank you, brother. Always good to hear from you. On my TLD Logistics phone lines here on TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime, Blake Courtney reminds me that Mike McIntyre, who was once a head coach at Colorado, is an analyst at Mississippi State, and that's Georgia's uncle, which is pretty interesting. Mississippi State is a weird, it just seems that whole thing with the cowbells, and Sean, everybody like you that's experienced it says it's just a weird place. I'm using the adjective weird a lot today. We had a caller in Atlanta who said prior to Joey Football and Hooker, we've had some weird quarterbacks here. Weird sometimes works.
I would just call it unique.
Yeah. All right, unique works.
I think if you have a chance to go down this weekend, I can't speak for I think they're having a whiteout, so I don't know if they didn't do any of that gimmick stuff like we, Checker Nealon when I was going there. But it's just a neat place. It really is.
A whiteout. By the way, Brian, what'd you say that total is?
I saw 61, 62.
My friends at VIP Play, you can play that. $20, your first bet. You receive $100 in bonus bets. The promo code and the phrase it pays is TN Tony. Again, TN Tony. VIP Play is on board for the Ryder Cup beginning tomorrow. It is going to be unbelievable up there. Bethpage Black. Europe's got a shot. Hey, I love Europe's team. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes. But that's something to bet on if you want to play the ponies this weekend there. Obviously, it's an incredible card in college football. I will have a pick 3 for the Tennessee game. I do these for the real games. Our pick 3 for Georgia, if the field goal would have gone through, was going to be a winner. Our pick 3 and what I do is I do a 3-leg parlay for the Syracuse game was a winner. And this one here, I'm consulting right now with Willie D. Heflin on where to go. But I'll let you know how that plays out. 200 leagues. Live always, numerous bet types, props, options, you name it. And everybody gets treated. As a great Gold Brick Joe told me, like a VIP at VIP Play. Gambling problem, 800-889-9789. 21 and over in the state to place a bet. And located in Tennessee. Back to the phones we go. 865-200-5402 is our number. I want to encourage you to like and subscribe. And to my friends at YouTube, hit the like button for us. That's how people find us. So far, I have 26 thumbs up over there. That's not acceptable. Not acceptable. Y'all got to do better than that. Or I'll pull it off YouTube, you clowns. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Tony, as soon as I get home, I'm going over and subscribing and liking the page, buddy.
Thank you, brother.
You got it, man. Hey, got two things about our team, but I want to throw a scenario at you if you were a defensive coordinator on what you would do in this situation. You've just went up 3 points. We're under 50. We're under 45 seconds to go in the ball game. Your opponent has the ball in their own territory, like around their own 30. They have no timeouts, and you're up 3. The only thing that can beat you is a touchdown. What are you calling on defense? And what are you trying to make them do?
Who's the quarterback? What's the down and distance for a first down?
It's second down. They're under 30. They got to go 50 yards to get, or they got to go about 40 yards to get in field goal range, and they got to go 70 to score a touchdown with no timeouts, 42-ish seconds on the clock.
I'm keeping them in the middle of the field.
Thank you, Brian. You're keeping them. Try to keep them short of the sticks and inside the field and not getting behind you. Right? That's what we all would do. I mean, prevent sucks. We all hate the prevent. It's stupid. Prevents you from winning. We've all said it 100 times. But in that scenario, if they happen to get in field goal range without the clock running out, you can live with that. But you're not going to get beat for a touchdown, right?
Yeah.
No.
Do we all agree?
Yeah.
Arizona State at Mississippi State in the exact scenario went 0 blitz and put 2 guys in man-to-man coverage, one of them covering the fastest guy in America, that number 3 for Mississippi State, and gave up a bomb touchdown, and then got the ball back with like 32 on the clock. You can ask Gene and Tony. I woke up the next morning going, and I had no money on the game, didn't care who won. I was infuriated the next morning when I woke up. Still, how can somebody be making millions of dollars as a defense coordinator and do that in that situation?
You know what it reminds me of?
I don't know. Was there a? I mean, that's what. When you're a coordinator, you're always concerned about miscommunication.
Yeah.
People talk
Sean,
about
they walked their safeties up and brought 6 and played man-to-man across the board with no safety help. It was not an accident.
I'm not
it was a 0 blitz call.
Or decision. It's just it's like everyone had a big problem with us, quote unquote, going conservative. In that 3 rushing play, why didn't we jack it up? We settled for a field goal. That third down, the second down play, if I remember right, if Aguilar keeps that ball, he's gone. And if our guard blocks properly, the running back is gone for 50 yards. I mean, so I've never really put a lot of importance on quote unquote play calls. I mean, a fullback dive that goes for 7. Sean Bryson, fullback dive goes for 80 yards. Looks like the most incredible play call in the history of the world. So I really don't know, but
every offensive play design is designed to get good positive yardage or break for a touchdown, except taking a knee. But defenses, there's situations like you don't guard 5 yards from the line of scrimmage if it's 3rd and 18 for the other team. You play the sticks. If your team needs 3 points to get you to overtime, you don't blitz them and let you throw over the top. You make them stay in front of you and milk a bunch of clock off, and hopefully you run the clock out before they get in field goal range. That's not complex. Anyway,
so is your contention that Mississippi State it may not be the team their record indicates?
No, they're good. They're very good. They held Arizona State to 3 points and 85 yards passing. They were great that night. But Arizona State was fortunate enough to get a 3-point lead under 50 seconds, and their defensive coordinator ished the bed as bad as you possibly could.
I hear you.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I just said I hear you. Good point.
Yeah. Boo. Offense. It's not going to happen, people. It's just not. He missed too much time in the summer where they could have been working on this stuff by his own choices. And furthermore, this offense is clicking and has something that it did not have last year because the quarterback last year was kind of a fly on the wall.
Flatliner.
This offense has harmony. and Boo Carter brought into the ball game for a play here and there again on an offense that's really good is going to hurt the harmony.
I don't know, Rusty. If a guy is that great, I think he's unbelievably dynamic with the ball in his hands.
I do too.
Bringing him in motion and flipping a ball to him is not going to hurt the harmony. I mean, to me, it's but I hear what you're saying. Look,
no.
The guy went into business for himself in the summer. I mean, the guy went into business for himself in the summer. He's lucky he's on the football team. I mean, essentially, that's the deal.
That's the harmony it's going to hurt, though, Tony, is a couple people on that offense
Kitzelman
want no part of him being on that offense.
No, Kitzelman
And if he comes out there and Braylon Staley has to go to the sideline to put Boo Carter in the ball game, or Star Thomas has to go to the sideline, those guys, it's going to hurt the harmony of that offense.
That's a decent point. And the other thing that Sean brought up, which is interesting, is you might be able to put him at the Wildcat around the goal line and let him run around in one situation. But I don't even know if you want to do that. I don't know what point that would even serve. Thinking out loud, because you've been pretty good inside the red zone so far.
Yeah, I think we're 15 to 17 on touchdowns.
Yeah.
With a missed field goal and a made field. So it's something really good in the red zone. We're ridiculous. Yeah. Here's something we could do: have him return the kickoffs and the punts. I mean, I know we fair catch a lot of kickoffs, but kickoffs, you do have a chance to break kickoffs. If you want the ball in his hands, let him do that.
I don't even know how many kickoffs are returnable anymore. The way these kids hammer the ball through the end zone.
Well, if it goes in the end zone, we don't even catch it. We stand out. We stand on the line and let it go over our heads. But we have fair caught like 6 or 7 balls this year, like between the 5 and the goal line. Put Boo out there and say, you know what, you got a green light. We want the ball in your hands enough. Go return this.
Wow.
And I hate returning kickoffs because I think if you get it on 25, just be happy with that. But if we're looking for another way to get Boo the ball, that would be the best way.
It's an interesting point. I wonder why they don't do that with him. That is interesting. I wonder why
it's a different skill set. Returning kickoffs and returning punts, it's a different thing. Kickoff returners are supposed to just run straight as fast and as hard as they can through a hole, and punt returners are supposed to be shifty, so maybe they feel like he's more built for punt returns. But hey, if he's a lead, if he's Percy Harvin, give him every chance to touch the ball. Just don't mess with the offense and take Staley or Matthews or Brazil or Aguilar or any of the 3 running backs off the field.
He brought up Harvin, and thank you, Rusty. Who was the guy, Brian, from Florida, when Tebow was there? I was over there with Anthony, and he was in the end zone. We punted a ball to him. No, we kicked off to him, and he ran a ball back for a touchdown. Was that guy's name James? Real little guy,
yeah,
Brian.
Brandon
James.
I think he did that in 08, too. I think he did that in 08.
And he returned punts and kickoffs. I mean, this guy was like freak. So, but that is an interesting thing of why you wouldn't put Boo Carter back there and let him touch a ball on kickoffs. That's not a bad thought. The thing about Boo is, Sean, and you said it earlier, you almost get the feeling that he's going to make a critical mistake trying to field the ball, trying to do too much, and going to cost us a ball game.
Well, he did it against UAB, but
I mean, cost us a ball game. If
he did it against UAB trying to do too much.
If we're not careful here, he looks like a guy capable of going into business for himself. He looks like a guy capable of going into business for himself. But let's go to the phones and get our next call in. Hello and welcome. You're on the air.
Doctor.
Give me the news.
Tony or Sean, that girl's name is Leah Klerman. And if you go back to Sunday and look at the SEC top 10, she's number 6, brother. An absolute missile, like Tony said. I mean, it's a thing of beauty. That keeper never had a chance.
Never had a chance. Never moved.
If she would have hit it with her arm, it would have broken her arm.
Sammy, she hammered that ball through traffic, okay? For one thing, she never even saw the shot, never moved. It's like one of those strikes you see on the world level. And it was a good 35 yards out, and it was a missile. And then the second goal, who scored the second goal, Sammy? Who was that?
I believe it was Midgley, maybe.
That was a half volley. That was an incredibly skilled shot from that girl.
Don't quote me on that, but Midgley is an absolute beast out there, bro. Like, I'm telling you, Tony, right now, buddy, between them and this Tennessee football team, everybody buckle up because this is about to get real, and it's going to be very, very good to Big Orange Nation, brother. Like I said earlier in the season, I think Joey Aguilar's the second coming at Connect. You know, a guy that was cast off, that worked his ass off, and, you know, I think he's going to be a first rounder, to be honest. He looks the part, bro. He's a star. And going back to, and sorry, Rusty, I disagree with Rusty on a lot of stuff, but the whole Boo Carter thing, Tony, it is what it is. You know, like, it's like Willie Beeman, you know, I keep the ladies. I mean, Boo Carter is going to be in the NFL, bro. And okay, some guys that are NFL players, you cut them a little grace, if you know what I'm saying. But as far as him making a mistake, Tony, I think it's going to be the opposite. I think he's going to return one in a big game for us, and be the difference. Because the guy's a player, man.
Oh, no, he's a great – listen, I just think he's so pent up and wants to make a play that pent up wanting to make a play deal will get you.
Part of it's just that he wants to get back in the good graces of his teammates. If he makes a play like that, he feels like he can.
I just think he's so skilled, Brian. He wants to get the ball in his hands and make a play. And I respect that, by the way. But guys like that can get you burnt. They can get you burnt.
Well, he's going to have to let it come to him. You're right. He can't overthink it because that's when you start making mistakes. He's a stud.
Yeah.
Let it come to him, and it will.
Yep. He's nice. He's a great athlete, no doubt about it.
Now, Tony, on Mississippi State, who you like to call Mississippi Mistake, which is one of the greatest lines ever.
The great Paul Gilbert gave me that 30 years ago.
Apparently, they let them keep the cowbells after they made the rule where there's no outside noise or whatever.
They grandfathered it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tony, I know you didn't get a chance to do it next year, but now with the conference realignment, once we go back down there, shout out the young lady at Amachi.
Machi bro.
You need to do a fundraiser, brother. Everybody that buys a Vuvuzela, some of the proceeds will go to Amachi and Brooke and them. And Big Orange Nation just show up down there with, 10,000 Vuvuzelas. I mean, I don't know if they'd let us in, but
no, you're not allowed to do that. Only they're allowed to use their noisemakers. Other people have tried that. You're not allowed to bring your noisemaker into there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
and no other noisemakers. The Vuvuzela bride. Do you remember that? Do you remember what the Vuvuzela is?
Yeah, it was something they made at the 2010 World Cup where it was like a kazoo or something.
No, it's not a kazoo. It's like a foghorn. They used to have them in the 70s. They used to blow them at the NFL games in the 70s. My brother came home from a 1974 the Eagles-Cowboys game with one of those things, and it would go. Pretty next level.
Very good imitation of a Vuvuzela, I do have to say. Yes. Tony, this weekend, we're going to go down there and take Mississippi State's lunch money. I'm looking at it like that LSU game where we went down there and just stomped them. That's what I'm seeing going to happen. And, we travel a little farther south for that game, but that's okay. What is the line in that Ole Miss game, Tony?
Ole Miss and the LSU game, 1.5.
No. Ole Miss. I'm sorry. LSU and Ole Miss.
1.5. Or laying right on top of each other.
Yeah.
There's LSU's favored?
Yes.
Yeah. I think Ole Miss is
favored. Or Ole Miss is favored. My bad.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Ole Miss is going to stomp them. I don't see Brian Kelly lasting at LSU. I think this might be his last year.
He's an unlikable bastard. I know that.
Yeah, I can't stand that guy.
Can't stand him.
And I tell you what, if it happens and Kiffin goes to Florida, that's listen. You can recruit in Florida. I mean, there's athletes falling out of the sky down there. Anybody, if he goes there, they will be back in contention. These idiots they've hired, I mean, it's just unbelievable. You can't win with the amount of talent you can get in that state.
I don't know, man. I think it's a weird job, dude. I think it's a weird. And now that you've got Miami back, you've got Florida State doing whatever the hell they're doing. Now that you've got South Florida attempting to play real football, I don't know. And the rest of the Southeastern Conference buying the players like they're buying them, I don't know. I don't know about the Florida deal. I don't know.
All right. Well, time will tell. And real quick on the way out, the other subject of Bruce Pearl, like handcuffing that program right at the last minute and then, pushing his son in. Stephen Pearl couldn't head coach his way out of a paper bag.
Stephen Pearl couldn't get the Murray State job, y'all. That's what happened. He tried to get the Murray job, and his dad said, I'll do you a solid, and he got him this job. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I'll be curious to see what the terms are. How much of a buyout are they agreeing to? Because really, they know they're going to fire him. It's just a matter of how long is it going to take, and how much are they going to pay him.
Right.
He has
great show, brother.
Thank you, Sammy. Love you. He has 0% chance of being there in 5 years. Zero. As in zero. Like, I don't know what's less than zero.
How will the Thompson Bowling Arena crowd welcome him when they play?
He's a former Vol great, Brian. He's a Vol great. What kind of question is that? They're going to give him a standing ovation. I would. Kid played hard when he was here. He's a horse's rear end, but he played hard. Bro, I love you. Thank you. Matt will be here tomorrow. C will be in the house tomorrow. Man, we got so much to talk about. This weekend's going to be insane. We've got all kinds of stuff to talk about. Those guys are going to go way inside the scheduling stuff. C will have like a million nooks and crannies that we haven't even considered because it's how his mind works. And a mind is a terrible thing to waste. And this is your brain on drugs. And Alyssa Hardy-Jones is the lead singer for the War on Drugs. And my name's Basilio, and we're live at Calhoun's on Friday. Tell a friend, and they'll tell two friends, and so on and so on. And I got to get out of here because I'm roached. But we did do a special last night, a schedule review special that you will hear running on our mainstream at some point later today, or you can go over to tclub.team and catch some of the insights that we gave you on the schedule, because there's really some inside stuff that goes on with making the schedule. And people are wondering, like, how did you know? I just knew. I just knew. But till we meet again, for all those behind the scenes, it's been utterly, utterly incredible. Yours truly with a face for radio signing off. Hope you have a blessed rest of your day. Tomorrow we're going to be there. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you to TLD Logistics, online at tldlogistics.com. Shout them out. Shout them out and shout it out loud. Gene Simmons. We love you. We appreciate you. G to the B to the O. And Friday I'll be live at Calhoun's with Bino. In the meantime, let's run today's show back and do it with the greatest of ease, G. Here it is.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340 WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
So the last couple of days, we kind of laid it out, the Bruce Pearl thing, and then kind of walked down on the ledge on the scheduling deal. And I debated, whether or not to put it on the blog, and what if it's all wrong? Because my information was really good. I mean, I can't tell you where I got that stuff. I'd have to